So I just found out today when what time my movie is being played at the festival.
Art thou excited?
Oh hell yeah, because it's right before the award ceremony.
I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna touch anything. Just gonna plug it through the middle and see if it'll work. So you got your signal. Right now, this is getting the signal from there.
It's a beautiful day for baseball here at historic Russell E. Diethrick Park in Jamestown, New York, as we get set for Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball as they play host to the visiting Auburn Doubledays. Hello again and welcome to Tarp Skunks baseball. I'm Dre Guinness alongside Matty G, and tonight the Tarp Skunks looking to bounce back after a rough game yesterday at Niagara Falls. They dropped that 8-1. They were limited to only 3 hits the entire day, 2 by Bobby Stang, 1 by Nigel Sebastianelli, struck out 8 times. But it was just one of those games where people weren't feeling quite up to snuff. The weather was oppressive, to say the absolute least. And tonight, back on the home field, facing an Auburn team that also lost yesterday to Geneva 5-2.
Yeah, both teams coming off of a loss, so both teams looking to regain their momentum. Obviously, the Tarp Skunks with home field advantage, looking to be able to use that to their advantage tonight against the Auburn Doubledays. Auburn, obviously, a couple of spots ahead in the standings against the Tarp Skunks. The Tarp Skunks dropping to 5th place in the West Division at 6-8. Auburn coming into this game 9-5-1. The Tarp Skunks are looking to try and build themselves back towards 500, so that way they'll be able to build back that momentum that they had so early on in the season when we had that 5-game homestand a couple weeks ago.
Absolutely, and you know, it's kind of strange. You start looking at this portion of the schedule as we're getting into the end of June and about to flip the calendar over to July. You start wondering, 500, is that the goal? A game or two above 500? Where is your actual goal to get to set yourself up for the last month of the season?
Well, obviously, when you look at it, a baseball team has one goal: win baseball games. When it comes to the record and the standings and everything like that, you're not trying to worry about everything over the course of the entire season. As I said last game, baseball is short-term memory, and they want to be able to have that short-term memory so that way they can win one game at a time and bring their record up and up and up.
Tarp Skunks coming into this game at 6-8, like you mentioned. Auburn 3 games ahead as we pause for our national anthem.
What's that? Oh,
And as we are all set and ready to get going here in the top of the first, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups, starting with on defense right now. Since they're on defense, we'll talk about the Tarp Skunks first. Home field advantage, we'll go first. Leading off and playing shortstop today is Nigel Sebastianelli. Batting second and playing on the other side of the middle infield, second base, Austin Matranga. Batting third, playing center field today is Leo Doyle. In the 4-hole, back at the first base slot is Bobby Stang. Batting fifth and right field today, DJ Stoyanovich. Batting sixth, the designated hitter tonight will be Aiden Wallace. At third base, batting seventh is Tommy Schroeder. Batting eighth, welcome back to playing defense for the Tarp Skunks at home, first time this season, at catcher Henry Juan. Steven Scarfone was the extra hitter tonight, batting ninth, and then batting 10th in left field, Noah Brooks. Taking a look at the Auburn Doubledays, batting first, playing shortstop, Gavin Grapuso. Batting second, the second baseman, Aiden Ford. Batting third, the extra hitter, Fernando Espino. Batting fourth, first baseman Juan Perez. Batting fifth, the third baseman Mike Christian. Batting sixth, the catcher Dalton Groves. Batting seventh, the center fielder Bradley Soto Diaz. Batting eighth, the right fielder Skylar Mays. Batting ninth, the left fielder Cole Mauseri. Batting 10th, the designated hitter Brandon Hoftiger. On the mound for the two teams today, on the mound for the Doubledays, Derek Bolander. He started 3 games, 17 innings of work, 15 hits, 5 earned runs, 9 walks, 26 Ks for the Doubledays starter. While on the mound, warming up right now, is Brady Wright. Brady Wright making his 4th appearance of the season, the 3rd start this season. He is 0-2 right now, allowed 12 hits, 12 earned runs, 9 walks, 7 Ks, a 9.00 ERA. Looking to see if he can improve on a couple of those numbers today. As we are all set and ready to go here in the top of the first, I've done enough speed talking at this point. We're ready to get this game underway. Dre Guinness, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Matty G, as we get set for the first pitch. And leading it off for the Doubledays is going to be Gavin Grapuso, batting .269 on the season. Left-handed hitter standing in. Brady Wright set to go here. And the first pitch is taken outside for a ball 1-0.
You on your way to the ballpark? You were scheduled to work tonight.
First pitch right on time at 6:30.
Brady Wright, a tall figure on the mound, 6'4", 195. Trying to use that intimidation factor to his advantage.
Hits the strike zone for a called strike. 0-1. Grapuso, 9 RBIs on the season. 9 strikeouts compared to 8 walks. So he will swing the bat.
Just run one camera.
Oh, it's okay. I can get it until you get here.
Right, gets what he likes.
Yeah, I got it.
The wind of the pitch off the plate for a ball 2-1.
All right.
Aiden Ford on deck.
What I got to do on this stuff.
So basically, when you don't have to do anything until there's an out.
Infield and outfield playing straight away. 2-1.
So there's 2 outs, put the eyeball.
Just missing the corner for a call. Ball 3-1 now to Grapuso. 3 doubles on the year and 52 at bats for the Doubleday shortstop. And the pitch called strike 2, and we go full. And Grapuso not going to ingratiate himself to the home plate umpire by trying to take off, sell the pitch as a ball. And the 3-2 pitch. Whoa, high and tight. And that misses for ball 4. So Grapuso gets on with the walk. And that's going to bring up Aiden Ford, the second baseman, batting .250 on the season. 7 hits and 28 at-bats. He does have a double. 6 RBI.
That's what we got for the output.
6 walks, 3 strikeouts on the season.
Switch it.
As Grapuso off first.
That's what they're seeing downstairs, you mean?
And the first pitch outside for a ball 1-0.
I will say, I don't know if it means anything, but there is action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen right now. it might just be like a bullpen, a recovery bullpen of sorts.
As the pitch grounded to third, Schroeder has it, second for one, throw to first, digged out by Stang for a double play.
Stang almost pulling the splits out very early on here. I'm glad he did his morning yoga before he started this game, because he had to reach a long way for that. But that 6'4" frame managed to get him where he needs to be, and that walk is negated practically as there are quickly 2 away.
As Fernando Espinal steps in, all he's done on the season is hit .583, 14 of 24, 3 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, 11 RBIs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 6 stolen bases. So he's had an okay season. As right comes set, the 1-0 pitch misses for a ball, 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Of course, saying that a little tongue-in-cheek, those are some pretty impressive stats through 14, 15 games. Right comes set, the pitch misses for a ball, 3-0.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we need,
And not necessarily
So like we're right now probably not.
hating the fact that he went 3-0 on Espinal.
But at the same time, nobody on base right now. Not a ton of damage can be done if he does get another hit.
As the 3-0 pitch right down the pipe for a strike, 3-1.
But then again, he will manage to shut my mouth very quickly by putting it over the logistics sign in left field.
Well, let's not put that out there.
Okay, just that. They're not getting the.
Would be just my luck.
Okay.
As the 3-1 pitch misses for a ball. And it is a 5-pitch walk to Espinal. And that's going to bring up Juan Perez.
But it was through the HDMI port, though.
Perez on the season 0 for 5 with a strikeout. Not a lot of opportunities at the plate. He did play here when Auburn was here last
We
time.
just connected it and then ran it to here.
May find Russell E. Diethrick Park to his liking. Ground ball to third. Schroeder has it. Goes the short way to second. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left. As we go to the bottom of the first inning, Doubledays nothing. Tarp Skunks coming to bat.
One out, turn that one off.
And that went off also.
Yep.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Plyler Entry Systems in Jamestown. Plyler Entry Systems has been serving the area since 1967. They are a proud member of the Builders Association of Northwestern Pennsylvania, the Manufacturer and Business Association, and the International Door Association. They offer a wide variety of products from a number of major manufacturers within the industry. When it comes to doors, they are the experts. Plyler Entry Systems is the proud sponsor of Whiffy, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks official mascot. To learn more about Plyler Entry Systems, call 716-296-0595 or visit PlylerEntry.com. Taking a look once again at the defense for the Auburn Doubledays. From left to right field, it's going to be Mauseri, Soto Diaz, and Mays. In the infield, from left to right, third base, Christian, shortstop, Grapuso, second base, Ford, and first base, Perez. Behind the dish is Groves, and then on the mound, like I mentioned last half inning, Derek Bolander. And he will be facing the top of the Tarp Skunks order, Sebastianelli, Matranga, Leo, Doyle, in that order.
Yeah, now that everything is working like it was.
And
right.
as Bolander
That white output
finishes up his warm-ups,
straight to this guy in HDMI.
and we are ready to get underway.
Do the right configuration. Something must have gotten
You know,
changed.
Dre, I gotta mention,
Yeah. And it looks like
as beautiful of a day as it is, you know, barely any clouds out right now, no chance of rain tonight from what I could see. Both teams are in very dark uniforms.
Yeah, that's a choice. Not one that I would make, but it is a choice indeed. Game time temperature 85 degrees, mostly sunny, winds 7 miles an hour out of the northwest, 61% humidity at game time. and there actually is a 15% chance of scattered showers later on. And I'm going to say that's a very long 15% shot. As Nigel Sebastianelli steps in for the Tarp Skunks on the season, batting .225. He does get on base a lot, though, via the walk. And he takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0.
Now, in past games, we've talked about the aggressiveness of the leadoff hitter or the first batter of the game, how we've disproved of it.
As there's a chopper over the mound picked up by the shortstop Grapuso and makes a diving throw to first base to get Sebastianelli, and there's one away.
And there's an example right there of Sebastianelli swinging on the second pitch, practically leaving Austin Matringa in the dark. You had a chance to talk to Ryan Hill, Dre, about what his thoughts were about that. What did he say?
Well, yeah, I talked to Coach Hill today, and he was saying that he trusts Nigel Sebastianelli, pretty much has a green light, doesn't want to put any restrictions on him, let him play his own game. And because he is one of those guys that does get on base via the hit, via the walk, he basically has carte blanche to lead off the game as the first pitch to Austin Matringa was taken for a strike. 0-1 pitch on the inside corner for a called strike two. 0-2 now to the Tarp Skunks second baseman, batting .304 on the season. And the pitch inside and low for a ball, 1-2. So far, haven't seen anything but fastballs from Bolander. But this is the sixth pitch of the inning. And here it comes. Called strike three on the outside corner. And I don't think Matringa agreed, but he heads back to the dugout with no discussion. And that's going to bring up Leo Doyle, the center fielder.
With that pitch selection, it wasn't so much like the variety of pitches, but matter the location of pitches. If you have so many pitches inside, obviously the outside is going to look extra outside.
First pitch to Doyle, cut on and missed.
And so if it's looking like extra outside, he's obviously going to hold up on it. It was just good pitch location there by Bolander.
Working both sides of the plate as the 0-1 pitch taken for a called strike. 0-2. Bolander is just throwing seeds up there. No breaking stuff, no off-speed stuff, just bullets. Has Doyle behind 0-2, and the pitch outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. Doyle batting .318, 14 for 44 on the season. Does have 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, no walks against 6 strikeouts. And the pitch, there's a ground ball, too short. Grapuso has it. Throw under first in time to get Doyle. And a 1-2-3 inning. Go the Tarp Skunks. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the top of the second inning. It's no score.
How do I get to the second inning, Jerry?
So go up to inning number, double click on it.
Double click?
Yep.
Still on one.
Do it again. Try quick. No, not on the eyeball, I'm sorry, on the word inning number.
Yeah, I'm on the inning.
Yeah, no, just go over to the words though, not the eyeball.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got Randy working. Yep, double click. Now in the middle it says test 1.
Oh, in the text.
Or text, I'm sorry, yes. And then highlight that, just change it to 2. And then say okay. There we go. Work?
Thank you. Now I got it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I tried to make it as clean as I could. And honestly, that whole bottom where it says Doubledays and Tarp Skunks,
Yeah.
if you want to change the team, like when we're playing a different team,
I see that.
yeah, you just hit the arrow.
So 2 very quick innings by both defenses in the top of the first. Only 4 batters up in the first inning for the Doubledays, only 3 for the Tarp Skunks. We'll see if the first inning is any notion of what the entirety of the game will be, as it is Mike Christian, Dalton Groves, and Bradley Soto Diaz up, the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Auburn Doubledays, to face Brady Wright in his second inning of work. And as they step up to the mound and the plate, here to tell you all about it is Dre Guinness.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Matty. Would hope if I put my mic back down. As Mike Christian comes in, the third baseman, batting .286, squares for a bunt, and it hits Christian in the batter's box. So that is going to be a strike after all is said and done. He's lucky he didn't actually take a step out of the box, otherwise he would have been out.
And not only that, he was kind of lucky that it didn't hit him in the first, or that it hit him in the first place. Henry Juwan was all over that ball.
Schroeder not buying the bunt. He's playing back as the 0-1 pitch is breaking ball taken for a strike. 0-2 the count.
So we're going to be good here in a minute.
No score here in the top of the second. 0-2 in the pitch. Fouled off the end of the bat, dribbling toward the Doubledays bullpen. On deck is Dalton Groves. Brady Wright shakes off Juwan, then gets the pitch he likes. Pitch, swing and a miss. And the first strikeout for Brady Wright, and there is one away here in the top of the second.
You know, on a 1-2 pitch like that, it's almost like a look of frustration between Henry Juwan and Brady Wright. Not necessarily frustration, but for lack of a better term, that works. Because obviously the catcher has his idea of a good strike three, and the pitcher has his idea of a good strike three. So if the pitcher shakes him off and goes for a new pitch, and that pitch doesn't work, the catcher just looks at him and goes, "I told you so."
As Groves, the catcher, steps in, batting .214 on the season, now 1-1 the count. As far as I know, this is the first time Juwan and Brady Wright have worked together, at least this season. 1-1 the count. And the pitch, check swing held up, and it's high for a ball, 2-1.
And once you say okay, it'll change it right on the screen. And then for inning number, it's the same thing. It's just inning number over on the top. But then for outs, you don't have to
The 2-1 pitch.
out anymore. You just have to turn on the eyeball.
Nice off-speed pitch for a strike. 2-2 the count.
First out, second out added, third out added. And those little bulbs over on the right-hand corner will come on.
Soto Diaz on deck.
Eyeball.
The 2-2 pitch.
Fill in. And then inning has an
Missed high for a ball. 3-2 now.
inning. You just turn on the eyeball for top of inning.
Second time that Brady Wright has gone to a full count.
Bottom, turn it off, and turn on the eyeball for bottom inning. So it's mostly it's just turning things on
And
and off.
the pitch swinging. There's a line drive towards short over the glove of the leaping Sebastianelli into left field. A base hit. So the first hit of the ball game
And then the only other change,
comes with one out in the top of the second inning, and that's going to bring up the center fielder,
if you look over on the left,
Bradley Soto Diaz.
That hit right there by Dalton Groves was the literal definition of two-strike approach. Like, you're not trying to hit it over the outfielder's head. You're just trying to put the ball in play and just let the bat do the talking, and that's exactly what he did. He's put it right over Sebastianelli and Schroeder's head in the Tony Gwynn hole, and he's aboard on first base.
Soto Diaz fouls off the first pitch he sees as Groves leads off first. Right comes set and the pitch. There's a ground ball through the Tony Gwynn hole into left field. And another base hit puts runners at first and second with one out. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Skylar Mays. Mays 184 on the season. And Reminded that the late great Willie Mays passing away a couple of days ago, former New York and San Francisco Giant, who originally said he wasn't going to be able to make the game at Rickards Field yesterday, and due to health concerns, but was going to watch, and unfortunately passed away before he could see that ball game, as Mays takes a called strike. Oh, and won the count. You know, and growing up as a Giants fan out in the Bay Area, I got to see Willie Mays tutor and mentor multiple generations of San Francisco Giants hitters, including the man who I think has the sweetest swing in the history of baseball, and I'm not talking about Barry Bonds. I'm talking about Will Clark, former first baseman. And the pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2 the count.
Notice how I haven't said a word about any of this because this is the definition of old generation versus new generation.
You're Pepsi, I'm Coke. Is that what it is?
Sure, if you want to call it that.
Sure, why not?
Old baseball versus new baseball.
Well, I mean, you know, it's just, it goes to show not only how far back, as that one's fouled off, and will stay at 1-2. Mays, after he got done playing, obviously wasn't part of the Giants staff, but as he was a legend, would always show up in the locker room at spring training during the season, pull someone aside, have conversations with them. And the list of names is ridiculous, going from Will Clark to Matt Williams to JT Snow as the 1-2 pitch, take it outside for a ball, 2-2. Even the grizzled old catcher Bob Brenly, Robbie Thompson, former second baseman, Kevin Mitchell. And then you get into the Barry Bonds, the Jeff Kents, the Brandon Crawford, Buster Posey, and a swing and a miss. And Mays goes down on strike. Second strikeout of the ball game for Brady Wright. And every time he would come into, the locker room or sit in the dugout, it was almost like an emperor holding court. Everybody wanted to sit around and listen because, whether it was a story, whether it was talking about the approach to hitting, the approach to playing defense, just the lasting impact that number 24 had, not only in New York, but in the Bay Area, is something that will be very hard to forget, as Cole Mosseri takes a strike on the first pitch, batting 184 on the season as well. Left fielder stands in. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Allow me to get off my soapbox now. Sorry, just had to wax poetic there a little bit.
Everyone has their moments.
Mosseri has struck out 16 times in 38 at-bats, and Wright's looking for one here, and he gets it. Side retired on 3 pitches to Mosseri. No runs, 2 hits, 2 runners left on base, 3 strikeouts in the inning. And we go to the bottom of the second inning now. It's still no score.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by the Davies Investment Group in Painted Post, New York. In a world filled with financial choices, finding the right path can be daunting. But fear not, because the Davies Investment Group of Benjamin F. Edwards is here to guide you every step of the way. With over a century of combined experience, this dedicated team is committed to helping you achieve your financial goals. They take the time to understand your unique needs and aspirations, crafting personalized strategies designed to grow and protect your wealth. But they don't stop there. They collaborate with your trusted advisors to ensure a comprehensive approach tailored specifically to you. When it comes to your financial future, trust the experts from the Davies Investment Group of Benjamin F. Edwards. Contact Davies Investment Group today at daviesinvestmentgroup.com or visit them at 310 Town Center Road, Suite 201, Painted Post, New York, 14870. Davies Investment Group, member SIPC. Taking a look at the Doubledays defense once again, as we were very quickly unable to do so in the bottom of the first inning. It's going to be Malseri, Soto Diaz, and Mays in the outfield from left to right. Oh, wait. Yeah, Christian Grupuso, Ford Perez on the infield, Groves behind the dish, and Bolander on the mound. I think I did do this. Are we doing deja vu?
Probably.
I think it's a deja vu kind of day.
I blame the humidity. See, anything over 50%, you're limited in your responsibility for what comes out of your mouth.
Sure, let's go with that.
We'll go with
but
that.
It's going to be Bobby Stang, DJ Stoyanovich, and Aiden Wallace for the Tarp Skunks. And here to tell you all about it, it's Dre Guinness.
All right, Bobby Stang stepping in, batting .354 on the season. Power hitter, waits and pops the first pitch up. And, oh! Perez was calling for it, backed off at the last second because Ford called it, and nobody caught it. So an excuse me base hit.
And because no one touched it, it's not considered an error. What in the world? You talk about communication error. Like, that one, there's two different kinds of communication errors when it comes to a fly ball in baseball. There's one like that you can just consider embarrassing. Both Perez and Ford probably have a bit of red in their faces right now. But the other one is the danger ones that you see as Stoyanovich takes the first pitch. Talk about danger.
Yeah, gets hit. So now runners at first and second for the Tarp Skunk. For Stang, that is just a continuation of a hot streak that he's been on the last 7 days. 9 for 15, a double, a triple, 4 RBIs, 4 walks, 3 Ks, batting .600 just this last week. And, maybe the baseball gods parted the Red Sea, as it were. And
you mean the blue? You mean the blue sea?
The blue sea. There we go.
Sea, their blue uniforms.
Yeah, there we
but
go. I
yeah,
like
there's the communication error in terms of like the embarrassing where there's nobody hurt. It's just your pride that's hurt a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the danger ones in the outfield where you got two guys sprinting at full force with a near collision or a possible actual collision.
As the first pitch to Aiden Wallace misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Yeah, as a former second baseman, I've had my share of those. That makes the innings seem longer because it feels like you have a spotlight on you as that pitch misses inside for a ball. 2-0. Wallace batting .227 on the season. Couple of doubles. 5 RBI. Has an opportunity to knock some in here. And the pitch. That's a strike at the knees. 2-1.
It's very noticeable right now. This umpire is favoring that inside corner. He's not giving the outside as much. We'll see if Bolander and Brady Wright for the Skunks are going to be able to make that adjustment over the course of this game.
2-1 pitch called for a strike. 2-2 now to Aiden Wallace. Corners were playing in. Now at 2-2, Christian at third base plays a little bit back. Perez playing just on the infield grass. And the 2-2 pitch. That's low and inside for a ball. 3-2 now to Aiden Wallace, who does have 6 walks on the season. And a walk will put the Skunks in great position here. The 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Wallace got caught looking, and there is one away. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Tommy Schroeder.
Still not a lot hurt right now. Obviously, first 2 guys on base, nobody out. You're sitting in good position. Just the last thing you want to do is shoot yourself in the foot and leave those 2 guys stranded.
As Schroeder steps in, batting .250 on the season. Takes the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count. Schroeder in the last 7 days, 4 for 15, 267 clip, a double at 3 RBIs, 3 walks. Looking for an opportunity to add an RBI in the column and the pitch. That's high and tight for a ball, 1-1. Stojanovic at first, staying off second. Perez, the first baseman, still playing close to the infield grass. And the pitch fouled off. Out of play. And our first souvenir of the ball game.
And I know exactly why Perez was playing on the grass. Because Tommy Schroeder is a right-handed batter, they were playing against the bunt there. And Perez was going to be the one that was going to charge in because of the runner at third. If Perez could get a hold of it, it could have been a throw out at third instead of a throw out to first.
Schroeder now, 1-2, swings and misses. And that's the second strikeout of the inning, third of the game for Bolander. And that's going to bring up Henry Juwan. Juwan coming in, batting .250. Has really gotten opportunities coming off injury this week. 3 for 8, batting .375 in the last 7 days. So throw out the first game, and Juwan is almost in midseason form. 2 away now. Bolander, long look at second. And Juwan calls time at the plate.
I don't know if you noticed, but Stang decided to play a little joke as he was leading off a second with that long look. He just gives a little smile at Bolander, and then just brings up his hand and just gives him a little wave, just saying, "Hi, yeah, I'm here. What of it?"
Little tricks to get into the heads of the pitchers as the first pitch to Juwan is on the inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Juwan, who had a great season last year for the Tarp Skunks. Looking to continue that here. As the 1-0 pitch grounded foul down the first baseline. And it's 1-1.
Yeah, a lot of them, like 4 or 5 tomorrow.
Steven Scarfone on deck.
It's hard to make them all.
He would hit next.
Isn't Jack tomorrow? Jack's is tomorrow. June's tomorrow. Sarvis is tomorrow. Carly's is tomorrow.
Juwan waving that bat in a circle waiting. Bolander looks at second. The pitch fouled back. 1-2 now to Henry Juwan. Runners take their lead. Infield at normal depth. And the pitch. There's a curveball missed high for a ball. 2-2. You could almost see that as it was coming out of his hands that it was going to be off target. Just something about that delivery and the way the ball was shown.
Mechanics can play a big factor. One little thing that's off makes the whole thing look wrong.
So Bolander again, 2-2. Fouled off as the bat goes flying.
Needs a little pine tar on his bat. He threw that straight at Scarfone. Scarfone, instead of playing dodge ball, is playing dodge bat.
If you can dodge a bat, you can dodge a ball.
Good reference.
I don't think Steven Scarfone has experienced the Patches O'Houlihan rules of dodgeball. I might have to check in with him on that.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
2-2 the count. 2 away. Bottom of the second inning. 2 men on. A lot of twos out there on the field. And the pitch. Swinging. There's a line drive just fouled on the third baseline. Juwan smoked that one just foul. And we'll do it all again. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging, there's a ground ball toward second. Stabbed by Ford, steps on the bag himself. And that will end the inning. No runs on one hit, 2 runners left on base. We go to the top of the third inning, no score. Don't forget, Sunday, a doubleheader. It is the GCFCU Community Buyout Night. Both games free admission against the Newark Pilots. First game at 2 o'clock, second game at 5:30. Now, there is rain in the forecast for Sunday, so you are going to want to pay attention to Jamestown Tarp Skunks social media, tarpskunks.net, or I'm sorry, tarpskunks.com, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. We will keep you posted. But looking at the weather report earlier today, said 45% chance of showers from 12 all the way to 6. So definitely stay tuned to the social medias to find out more information about the community buyout doubleheader this Sunday. As we flip it over and go to the top of the third inning, it's going to be Hoftiger, Grapuso, and Ford facing Brady Wright in his third inning of work. And here to tell you all about it, it's Matty G.
Thank you, Dre. It's my turn to step up to the mic for a little bit. And, you know, if there's one thing I got to say, Tarp Skunks baseball will always bring more energy into me throughout the course of my day. I have had a very slow day, a very long day. You know, a day that not a lot of people like to have. And so the fact that I had it, the day instantly becomes better now that I'm here at Russell E. Diethrick Park.
Yeah, there's definitely something about the energy of being able to go to a baseball game. As a couple quick shout-outs, Scotty James watching us on YouTube, Raymond Doyle asking who is pitching for the Tarp Skunks. It is Brady Wright starting his third inning of work. As the throw down to second base, and we are set for the third inning.
And Brandon Hoftiger leading things off. The 10-1-2 hitters coming to the plate for the Auburn Doubledays here. Brandon Hoftiger batting 115 on the season right now. And as a designated hitter, that's kind of an interesting move, as his first pitch from right inside for ball one. But you were talking about this earlier, about how to be a designated hitter, it's almost like a roller coaster ride.
Your average must be over the Mendoza line to be the designated hitter.
As that pitch is fouled over the press box, 1-1.
And of course, you know, just joking around about that, because there are reasons that someone may be a designated hitter. Maybe he needs a day off from being in the field, whatnot. Maybe he just needs some extra reps. But just
that pitch high and outside for ball two.
Just the little fun things that we talk about off the air. And heaven help us if they ever put a hidden camera in here and record what we say before the games.
The 2-1 pitch inside, 3-1. Almost looked like it hit Hoftiger's shirt, but not enough to get the hit by pitch call.
Yeah, both inside pitches looked like they were within a hair of hitting.
The 3-1. Called strike two. And Hoftiger has to trot back to the batter's box as he thought that was ball four on the outside corner.
And that's the second time a Doubledays hitter has done that on 3-1.
And the payoff pitch. That one is ball four, a changeup high above the shoulders, and Hoftiger is aboard. And that'll bring up the top of the order, Gavin Grapuso.
For Hoftiger, that is his 7th walk on the season. He does have 2 stolen bases over there at first.
Grappuso did walk his first time up, so no official at-bat just yet. As his first pitch hit over into second base. That could be 2, but good play by Austin Matranga, in my opinion. His momentum was pulling him over towards first base. He did not have a good angle to second, so he threw it on to Stang, the easy play that he had for the 4-3 put away. So better to get 1 out than try to get the lead runner and have it fail and have there be no outs.
Matranga almost looked like a quarterback out there with his head on a swivel, looked at second briefly, saw he didn't like his target, so turned and got the sure out at first. That's a heads-up play.
Aiden Ford now at the plate. His first pitch inside for ball 1.
I know a lot of people that may have tried to force that into second base, and that's where errors happen, extra free bases happen.
The 1-0. Changeup called, strike 1 at the knees. Aiden Ford with the 6-4-3 double play. That's what he hit into his first time up. Brady Wright's delivery. Way outside. Good stop by Henry Juwan to force Hoftiger back to the bag.
Henry Juwan reminding me of the hockey goalies of, I guess, my generation, the Patrick Waugh, the Dominic Hasek's.
Was that English?
No. One was Canadian, one was, I believe, either Russian or Ukrainian.
The 2-1. Inside just by a couple inches. 3-1 the count now.
And Brady Wright just kind of nodded his head like, okay. Open base at first, so a walk is not terrible.
The pitch hit up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. Hoftiger is going to hold at third, and the ball is stopped by Henry Juwan. So I give props to Leo Doyle getting that ball in quickly to prevent a run from scoring, but now the Doubledays threatening, runners at the corners, 1 out.
Runners at the corner, 1 out. Double play is set up, but, you know, Hoftiger, I don't know why, he kind of held his ground as the ball was going up the middle. It wasn't in the air. It was almost like he was playing a fly ball, and that little hesitation kept him at third.
And the first pitch to Fernando Espinal is on the outside corner for strike 1.
Espinal is a dangerous hitter.
As his 0-1 pitch hit foul territory, still in play, just goes out of play over the Doubledays dugout. And now I see a group of kids over there, a group of baseball players. It looks like either Falconer Little League or the Diamond Dogs travel team clamoring for a baseball, hoping for a souvenir.
Snap throw over to first. Wow. I have never seen Brady Wright throw to first sidearm like that.
0-2 the count now. The pitch to Espinal. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And that is huge, honestly. That is the 4th strikeout of the day for Brady Wright. And now there are 2 away here. And 2 outs makes this jam much more viable. As the first pitch to Juan Perez, called strike 1. Perez grounded out to third his first time up. The 0-1. Called strike 2. Keeping with that off speed, just moving it more on the outside. Perez wants nothing to do with it. Quickly 0-2 here.
Think it fastball in.
I say put a fastball right where that last pitch was. The 0-2 hit up the middle, and that's going to get by and into the outfield for a base hit. So Hoftiger will score, and the Doubledays draw first blood off of the bat of Juan Perez. His first hit of the season, by the way. And his first hit of the season is an RBI single. 1-0 Doubledays. And that'll bring up Mike Christian.
First base hit, first RBI of the season for Perez.
His first pitch, chop single over towards short, taken by Sebastianelli. He'll throw to Matranga for the third out of the inning. 1 run on 2 hits, 2 runners left on base. We're going to go to the bottom of the third now. Score 1-0 Doubledays.
Just keep your Jamestown with your orange on even at least once during your billing period. That's all you need to do. Recycle and save at Jamestown BPU. Both off and reliable.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Prevention Works in Casa Trinity. Prevention Works in Jamestown, New York provides substance use prevention and social emotional learning and intervention services since 1974. Casa Trinity is dedicated to empowering those on their path to recovery. Hope begins here and recovery is possible. Both Prevention Works and Casa Trinity are pairing up to educate communities on the dangers of fentanyl that is getting way too close to home. One pill is enough to kill, especially if it contains fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams to take a life, which equates to the tip of a pencil. Be proactive and protect your loved ones by learning more. Visit dea.gov/onepill if you think you know someone at risk, or call 716-664-3608. Just kind of a quick heads up for you, something that I saw on the team Facebook page today. There are people that will be putting comments for some reason on our game saying, here's your link, here's your link, here's your link. The only link you need is YouTube. Any other link more than likely is a scam. I did catch one of them that was deleted before there were like 3 or 4 more put up there later in the afternoon. But I, with my experience in IT and cybersecurity, was able to check it out, and it looked like it was a data grab. So, you know, definitely only click on links you trust. If it's asking you to sign up for a free account, don't. Just come to the YouTube page for Tarp Skunks action as Matty G steps up for the bottom of the third.
Thank you. First pitch to Steven Scarfone. High fastball with a heavy swing by Scarfone. Swing and a miss. It's going to be Scarfone, Noah Brooks, and then the top of the order, Nigel Sebastianelli here in the bottom of the third, trying to answer back to that 1 run scored last half inning. His next pitch, called strike 2. That looked like it was a little out from my angle. And Scarfone wasn't quite happy with the call, but the 0-2 delivery from Bolander, that's way inside. Backing Scarfone off the plate, 1-2 now.
First Scarfone batting .222 on the season. 4 hits and 18 at bat, 1 RBI.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. Struck him out again. Another strikeout for Bolander. That's number 4 on the night for him as well. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Noah Brooks. Noah Brooks coming into this game batting .118 on the season.
Brooks, who's played catcher the last couple of games, getting a start in the left.
His first pitch on the outside corner, called strike 1.
Giving those legs a break from the squat behind the plate.
That pitch goes by Groves and to the backstop, 1-1. Luckily for Groves. Catchers don't have to worry all that much when there's nobody on base if a ball gets by them. The 1-1 delivery. Chopper over towards first, fielded clean by Perez, and he will take it himself for the 3 unassisted put away. 2 out now. But as we all know, 2 outs is where the Tarp Skunks have been consistently good over the past few games. We'll see if that continues today as Nigel Sebastianelli steps up for his second at-bat, grounded out to short his first time up. His first pitch is outside for ball 1.
Sebastianelli has gotten to take a good long look at Bolander's stuff.
The 1-0. Little low for ball 2.
That is a good eye just below the knees, fastball right down the heart.
Luckily, Sebastianelli being a little bit taller, the strike zone is a little bit higher off the plate. The 2-0 delivery from Bolander. Check swing. Yes, he did go around for strike 1. 2-1 the count now. The 2-1 pitch. Hit chopper over towards short, fielded by Grapuso. The throw in time for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Bolander. We've played 3 complete. The score still 1-0 Doubledays.
Next week is going to be an absolutely busy week. We've already talked about the GCFCU Community Buyout Night this Sunday, 2 and 5:30, the free admission doubleheader. I want to thank the Greater Chautauqua Federal Credit Union for buying out that game. And then on Tuesday against the Geneva Red Wings, $2 night, $2 bleacher tickets, $2 hot dogs, and $2 beer. That is a 6:30 start on Tuesday. And then the Evil Empire, the Batavia Muck Dogs, come in for JCC Community Buyout Night. That's Thursday night, June 27th. You're not going to want to miss that one. And then Auburn back here at Diethrick Park on the 29th. So a busy week for Tarp Skunks baseball, 2 buyout opportunities, $2 night. You're not down at the ballpark. Well, I guess there's more hot dogs and beer for me on Tuesday night at least.
Well, I mean, you'd be up here, so the odds of you getting them are slim.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, I've always had a rule: never drink before the game.
Just after.
Just after. As we go to the top of the 4th inning, it's Matty G.
Thank you very much, Dre. It is going to be first pitch, low and inside for ball 1 to Groves. It's going to be Groves, Soto Diaz, and Mays in that order. The 1-0 to Groves from Brady Wright bounces off of Henry Juwan in the dirt. 2-0 now.
Groves with a single back in the second.
Wright has his pitch. And the 2-0. Drills him square in the back.
Groves is not happy about it. He's definitely feeling that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was a fastball. Probably just slipped out of Brady Wright's hands. You know, just a little slip, maybe a little mechanical mistake. Usually you'll see that more with an off-speed pitch, a curveball or a changeup that wouldn't hurt as much. But he got all the heat from Brady Wright's arm, and that'll probably end up leaving a good-sized bruise. As that brings up Bradley Soto Diaz.
rub some dirt on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, walk it off. As he goes, first pitch is a strike. The throw by Juwan. Sit down, meat. And I don't know what Groves was yelling at. He was yelling at somebody. Maybe it was the umpire. I don't know if it was Juwan, but what a laser of a throw by Juwan. As the next pitch to Soto Diaz is low and away. 1-1 the count. Quickly 1 out, though.
That was one of the quickest pops I've seen all season. The throw on the line perfectly right at the second base bag.
As that is chopped over to third, fielded by Schroeder. The throw in time. And now there are 2 away.
Now in the batter's box for the Auburn Doubledays. The right fielder, number
So,
9, Skyler Mays.
an unorthodox 2 outs here. The hit by pitch turning into a laser throw out caught stealing by Henry Juwan. And that brings up Skyler Mays. His first pitch, swing and a miss on a healthy hack by Mays. He was looking to take that a long direction, or a long distance, I should say.
And Mays not happy about his strikeout in the second, was trying to rectify that, puts himself behind in the count.
His next pitch, up by his chin, high for ball 1. Brady Wright finds his pitch, comes set. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss on the curveball. He was out on his front foot. 1-2. And I don't know why Brady Wright is still in the stretch, considering, there's nobody on base right now. But I guess whatever works, works. It's the 1-2 delivery. Low and away for ball 2.
I mean, it very well may be a comfort thing for him, especially with the humidity. He seems to have better control, though, coming out of the stretch.
So 2-2, 2 out, nobody on. The pitch from Wright. A little outside. Wright thought it was strike 3, and so did both Sebastianelli and Matranga in the middle infield.
Yeah, Leo Doyle even spun around, turned around, put his back to the infield, and shook his head for a second.
The 3-2. Inside ball 4. Brady Wright showing a hint of frustration. But still nothing hurt completely. As that brings up Cole Malseri. Malseri did strike out his first time up, his 17th strikeout on the season, and we're only a third of the way through.
Yeah, those are definitely numbers that you don't want to have.
His first pitch, low and away, ball 1.
And the thing I think you have to put in perspective, too, is that because this is a short season, it's a 2-month season, you're getting only a certain amount of at-bats. If your percentage of strikeouts is around the 30% mark.
As that pitch is called strike 1, and Malseri frustrated at the call. He didn't like it. But the count's 1-1. Mays with the lead off of first. Wright comes set. The 1-1 delivery. Changeup outside. 2-1. In my opinion, the changeup is the hardest pitch to control. It's consistently the one that you have to pronate away, which is kind of like a quick break of the wrist for those that don't know. As the pitch chopped over towards first base, Stang tried to dance on the line to try to make it fair, but was unable to hold on to it for long enough. 2-2 now.
Great impression of a wide receiver trying to haul one in. right at the sideline, just one toe over that line.
For whatever reason, that reminds me of Julio Jones. The 2-2 runner goes, swing and a miss. He struck him out. And that is now the 18th strikeout on the season for Mauceri. No runs, no hits. One runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The score remains 1-0 Doubledays.
Hey, Jimmy, I'm a little hungry for pizza. I think I do, Joe. We are down here with the Macy's Pizza Toss. Now, these three guys have about 30 seconds to toss these pizzas into that box. Whoever wins first, it's a $30 return for this pizza. Are you guys ready? They're ready. All right. Let's go. Go ahead. You're good. Ooh, good throw. You gotta let it slow. Come on now. Stop fishing.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Plyler Entry Systems in Jamestown. Plyler Entry Systems has been serving the area since 1967, and they are a proud member of the Builders Association of Northwestern Pennsylvania, the Manufacturer and Business Association, and the International Door Association. They offer a wide variety of products from a number of the major manufacturers within the industry. When it comes to doors, they are the experts. Plyler Entry Systems is the proud sponsor of Whiffy, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks official mascot. To learn more about Plyler Entry Systems, call 716-296-0595 or visit PlylerEntry.com. As Austin Matringa, Leo Doyle, and Bobby Stang are set to face Bolander in his 4th inning of work. And in his 4th inning of work, it's Matty G.
Technically your 4th inning of work as well, Dre.
That's not about me.
It's not about me either. First pitch to Matranga. He's the one that's important. Chopper over towards first. First pitch swing. And pitcher's fielding positions. Bolander over to cover for first base. And the first pitch is a 3-1 put away. 1 pitch, 1 out.
By the way, that was a good answer.
I mean, it makes sense.
Absolutely.
Leo Doyle to the plate now. Doyle grounded out too short his first time up. Still no walks on the season for Leo Doyle, as his first pitch high for ball 1. The 1-0 from Bolander. Hit high into shallow right field. Underneath it is Perez. Moves into foul territory to make the grab for out number 2. So only 3 pitches by Bolander here in the bottom of the 4th, and he already has 2 outs. What do you do if you're Bobby Stang here?
I mean, you have to stay. You have to stay aggressive. He's around the strike zone most of the time. A couple times he's missed wide, but for the most part, he's around the strike zone. You just got to keep your eye on the ball and find one you like.
As the first pitch is called strike 1, there is a phrase that baseball players say in this situation, and that is extend the inning. Brady Wright is going to be going into his 5th inning of work as that pitch is fouled back. 0-2 now. As Bolander's only thrown 5 pitches, possibly 6 to end the inning. That would be almost no time for him to get any sort of rest, and that is going to tire out Brady Wright's arm. He's going to become less accurate, and that's going to put more runs across. You want to extend the inning and give your pitcher as much time as possible to rest as that pitch is fouled into the road.
Well, if there's, I mean, there are a number of players on this team, but, you know, Bobby Stang is definitely one of those that can work a pitcher. Foul off pitches, work a count full.
The 0-2 in the dirt. 1-2 now.
Stang with the only Tarp Skunks hit, and that came back in the 2nd inning. A gift, really, a pop-up that went between Perez and Ford that both been called and neither of them caught.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's strike 3. So another 1-2-3 inning, and Bolander is dealing against the Tarp Skunks offense right now. We go to the top of the 5th. Still 1-0.
Do you think you can beat our mascot, Whitney, in a race? Well, hold on, your man has a chance to find out for themselves. Sorry, Jim, coming to you. Thank you, Jeremy. We're out here, one of the most anticipated games of the night. It is the Whitney Run. I'm here with there, and there, Mr. Whitney. Now, Whitney is going to be running down the first baseline. There, we'll be running down the third. Gonna have a straight race, so we should be ready for this. All right. If you beat Whitney, you get props. You lose to Whitney, you don't. So Whitney is going to be running that way, you're going to be running this way. Are you ready? Put on the bat. All right. Whitney, you're down the first baseline. There, you're down the third. On your mark, get set, go! There's one, I like Barrett's speed, he's got good movement. If you don't, it's moving, Barrett comes on the home stretch, really sliding to home. And he gets out, down, Whitney goes! But Barrett wins! Let's get those applause, Barrett, with you, ladies and gentlemen. Barrett, back up to you. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, simply getting all these Tarp Skunks by visiting our website, tarpskunks.com. For all your online shop, purchase tickets, check out the team info and history of baseball right here in Jamestown.
So the Tarp Skunks offense, something I want to point out right now, out of the 4 innings that they have had any sort of chance to get their offense rolling, 3 out of the 4 have gone down 1, 2, 3. With the second inning being the only one that was different, as they got 2 runners on base with the Bobby Stang weird single and the hit by pitch by Stoyanovich. As they head to defense, trying to keep their defense clean, it's going to be Hoftiger, Grapuso, and Aiden Ford. 10-1-2 in the lineup, and I've done enough. I think I'm going to step back, maybe get a little water. Dre, you ready to go?
I'm absolutely ready to go, and Brady Wright is ready to go with his 5th inning of work. It's been a pitcher's duel today, as the first pitch misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Hoftiger walked, scored the run, the only run of the game back in the 3rd inning. That's the difference right now. 1-0, Doubledays over the Skunks. There's a ground ball to first. Stoyanovich loses control of it. It bounces off of his glove, and he is unable to get it to right cover in the bag in time. And we will see if that is going to be scored a hit or an error.
I have a feeling that that's going to be a fielding error on Bobby Stang. He was clean on it. It was right at him. He just didn't close his glove in time, so it rolled in his glove and out. He thought it went one direction, but it really went the other, and Hoftiger's speed made the difference. And they're going to mark it a hit. I have no idea why.
As the first pitch to Grapuso is called for a strike 0-1. The only thing I can think of is that area in front of first base is chewed up, so they may take into account a bad hop. As a ground ball past the diving Stang at first, into right field, a base hit. Heading over to third is Hoftiger. And now runners at first and third with nobody out for Aiden Ford.
So a very quick jam here. 2 quick hits. Both hit really hard and both hit at Bobby Stang. Stang being the hot corner right now. Usually that's Tommy Schroeder's job.
So now runners at the corner. Nobody out, and Wright's first pitch missing for a ball, 1-0. That ball was hit so hard that Stang dove for it and his glove flew off his hand. Grapuso takes his lead from first, and the pitch fouled off to the right, 1-1. Again, Grupuso is a stolen base threat, does have 12 swipes on the season. And the pitch. Runner does not go. A swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. You also have to keep in mind, though, Henry Juan behind the plate can pop, lock, and gun you down at second. She's already done that once today. Snap throw over to first. Not in time. Staying putting the tag on. Juwan back behind the plate. Right, comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Runner goes, and Juwan lets him go. So a stolen base on catcher's indifference. There is one away. And that's going to bring up Fernando Espinal. Walked and struck out. 6 strikeouts for Brady Wright today. Looking for one right here. And the first pitch swung on. There's a line drive. Fair ball down the left field line. That is going to score 2. Espinal rounding first, pulls into second with a stand-up double. And Auburn takes a 3-0 lead.
That was an absolute rip double there by Espinal. Espinal proving that 583 average to his name is something to note. Making himself known. That hit was over Schroeder's head. Unfortunately, Schroeder not tall enough, nor did he have the reaction time to try and make a jump for it. And it landed probably about 2 feet in fair territory, as Ryan Hill comes out to have a word with Brady Wright really fast. But there is action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen. We'll see how long they decide to keep Brady Wright out, especially considering the offense has yet to make any sort of presence today.
First pitch to Juan Perez is shot foul down the left field line. 0-1 the count to the Doubledays first baseman. 1 for 2 on the day. And the pitch on the inside, missing for a ball. 1-1. Perez with an RBI single back in the 3rd inning. 2 across here for the Doubledays in the top of the 5th. And the pitch. Swinging, there's a ground ball to third. Schroeder dives and grabs it. Throw on to first in time to get Perez. And Espinal frozen at second.
Wow, what a heads-up play there by Tommy Schroeder. They call it the hot corner for a reason. When he grabbed that ball, his body was parallel to the ground, and he grabbed it over the foul line. So it was a long throw by Schroeder, but the power of his arm proving worthy to make the throw and knock down Juan Perez.
As the third baseman, Mike Christian, steps in now with 2 outs. And a runner at second takes the first pitch for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Christian, a strikeout victim back in the second, grounded out to short to end the inning in the 3rd. And Wright looking for one of those 2 results right now. Next pitch misses inside for a ball. 2-1. Make that 1-1.
Need some coffee?
I need an IV infusion of coffee. Extra cream. Oh, as that pitch goes behind Christian all the way to the backstop. And Espinal advances on the wild pitch.
And Brady Wright saying again, that's my fault. He was trying to throw the changeup on that, but again, the movement of his wrist caused it to kind of slip out of his hands, making it, again, the changeup being just the hardest pitch to control.
So now 2-1, 2 away, top of the 5th inning. Runner at third for Auburn. Wright kicks and throws in the pitch. Just off the outside for a ball. 3-1 now. Dalton Groves, the catcher, on deck. Doubledays looking to add. The 3-1. Taken for a ball, and Christian gets aboard with the walk. So now runners at the corners with 2 away here, and that's going to bring up Dalton Groves. And that is going to be all for Brady Wright as Ryan Hill comes out, takes the ball, and that is going to end his day. 4 2/3 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits, 7 strikeouts. Make that 6 strikeouts. So Wright's day is ended. He will leave Espinal at third, Christian at first, and the new pitcher
is going to be Griffin White. Griffin White, 6'5", 215, a freshman from Wagner College, calls Columbus, Ohio home.
For Griffin White, his stats are a bit deceiving. He has appeared in 1 game, pitched 1/3 of an inning, gave up 1 run, 1 hit. The run was earned. That's it. So coming in with a 27 ERA off of 1/3 of an inning, not a big enough sample size to really analyze and get into the stuff of Griffin White. Well, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, Griffin White will take on Dalton Groves. 3-0 Auburn. As Griffin White finishes his warm-up tosses, Dalton Groves steps in, the Doubledays catcher, singled and hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning.
And all of the teams, Doubledays and Skunks, are having fun. I see Schroeder and Espinal over at third base. Schroeder faking like, oh, I'm going to get you, I'm going to tag you. And Espinal kind of joking around with it, saying, oh, I'm going to go back. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, I'm going to go back. Oh, no, I'm not. So Schroeder and Espinal having fun over at third base. Schroeder kind of reminds me of like a Carlos Beltre, constantly having fun, having a great time with the game.
Runner goes, pitch taken for a ball, and Juan will let him go. Catcher's indifference on that one as well. As it's now 2-0 to Groves.
So Schroeder with almost like a Carlos Beltre-esque way of playing the game, just wanting to have fun and smile.
As the 2-0 pitch taken for a called strike, 2-1. You thinking Adrian Beltre?
Maybe, yeah.
Because I think you got Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, and Adrian Beltre. Yeah. Maybe I'm the one that needs the IV of coffee.
There we go. 2-2 now, the count. to Dalton Groves, as neither runner on base is at the forefront of White's mind. He has one job to do right now, and that is to get Groves. 2-2. The pitch. Just missed for a ball. 3-2. Henry Juan, though, pointing back at Griffin White, saying, that is what I like. Three and two. 2 outs. And the pitch. Swing! And a miss. And the side is retired. But 1 run on 3 hits. 2 runners left on base. And after 4.5, it's 3-0 Doubledays.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Davies Investment Group in Painted Post, New York. In a world filled with financial choices, finding the right path can be daunting. But fear not, because the Davies Investment Group of Benjamin F. Edwards is here to guide you every step of the way. With over a century of combined experience, this dedicated team is committed to helping you achieve your financial goals. They take the time to understand your unique needs and aspirations, crafting personalized strategies designed to grow and protect your wealth. But they don't stop there. They collaborate with your trusted advisors to ensure a comprehensive approach tailored specifically to you. When it comes to your financial future, trust the experts from the Davies Investment Group of Benjamin F. Edwards. Contact Davies Investment Group today at daviesinvestmentgroup.com or visit them at 310 Town Center Road, Suite 201, Painted Post, New York, 14870. Davies Investment Group, member SIPC. As we are on our way to the bottom of the 5th inning, the Tarp Skunks trying to see if their offense can find any answer to the 3 runs the Doubledays have put up, and an answer to Bolander in general, as there are only 2 batters that he's faced that he's allowed on base through 4 innings of work. But it's going to be Stoyanovich, Wallace, and Schroeder in that order. And here to tell you all about it, it's Dre Guinness.
All right, thank you very much, Maddie. As DJ Stoyanovich is one of those 2 that have reached base against Bolander. Bolander up to this point has pitched an absolute gem. No runs on 1 hit through 4 innings. Stoyanovich, though, looking to change that. As the right-hander steps in, Bolander kicks and throws. First pitch, swinging. There's a fly ball out to left center field. Moving over is Mauseri, and he makes the catch for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 away. And that is going to bring up Aiden Wallace. Wallace looking to get something going here. Hitting around the 220 mark, and the first pitch from Bolander taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Struck out looking on a 3-2 pitch back in the 2nd inning. Out of the stretch, the pitch fouled back. And it's 1-1. Tommy Schroeder on deck. Infield, outfield, playing straight away. The 1-1, fouled back again. 1-2 the count. Bolander comes set, the pitch. Fouled back. over the press box and look out in the mezzanine. Of course, with the delay from when we broadcast to when it actually shows up on the TV, it'll be a little too late, but, you know, at least we made the effort. The pitch inside for a ball, 2-2. And if I'm going to say one thing about this home plate umpire is he's been consistent. Two and two, the pitch. Fouled off to the right again. Look out. That may have dinged a white car out there.
Hey, my car's white.
Are you parked over yonder down the first base line?
Oh, luckily no.
Oh, then never mind. 2-2 pitch taken outside for a ball, 3-2. So Wallace working a walk here.
I would prefer it if you did not give me a heart attack like that, Mr. Giddis.
Oh, no, you get all the heart attacks.
Says the one who has a heart attack every time a ball's hit this direction.
I have a reason for that, though, as the pitch swung, and there's a ground ball foul down third base. And, I mean, I'll tell the story again, because the first night I told it, we were having audio issues, so it didn't get out. So, I mean, I can tell it again. I mean, when you've been hit in the head with as many fastballs and batted balls and stuff, you know, it'll make you want to dive behind a big, heavy barrier. The 3-2. Called strike three. Aiden Wallace got caught, and that was very delayed on the called third strike.
The one thing I will say, though, I don't know if it was out of frustration, or I don't know if it was chuckling at himself saying, yeah, I got caught, but as he turned around and looked at the umpire, he was smiling.
Oh, Tommy Schroeder gets drilled with the first pitch, so he will be aboard. I think he was smiling like, are you kidding me? As Schroeder takes the long walk 90 feet down to first base, not happy about getting drilled. But that is going to bring up Henry Juwan now. Schroeder off first. As the first pitch misses inside for a ball. Schroeder taking an extended lead. Maybe a threat to steal a base here with 2 out. 1-0 and the pitch. Swinging, there goes Juwan's bat again for the second time. As Schroeder makes it to second base.
We were all too focused on the bat. Juwan showing some frustration at himself for having to reapply pine tar to his bat. But after the bat flew out of Juwan's hands, Groves threw down to first base to try and pick Tommy Schroeder off. But the ball got by Perez, and it went into right field, down the right field line, allowing Schroeder to advance to second base. So very chaotic pitch right there, but now it's 1-1, runner on second.
That's why we have 2 sets of eyes up in the broadcast booth. And the 1-1 to Henry Juwan. The pitch swung on. There is a base hit the other way into right field. Schroeder rounding third. He's heading to the plate. Here comes the throw. Not in time. Schroeder scores, and Juwan with an RBI single, and it's 3-1 Skunks.
Schroeder with the amazing speed and aggression around third base. It was a very risky play there by Coach Ryan Hill with how shallow Mays was when he made that throw. The throw was an absolute bullet, but the speed of Schroeder playing the odds and winning, just beating the tag. 3-1 now. canceling out the run scored in the third inning. But job ain't done yet.
I absolutely love the send for Schroeder. Even if he gets thrown out at the plate, that is just showing that there is no quit on this Tarp Skunks team. As Steven Scarfone now down 0-1. Juwan off first. The pitch misses off the corner for a ball. 1-1. Tarp Skunks finally getting to Bolander, getting on the board here. 1-1 the count. And the pitch. Missing low and in for a ball. 2-1. And perhaps it's time for the Tarp Skunks to whip out a little bit of that 2-out magic. Juwan off first. The pitch. Outside and high for a ball. 3-1 now to Steven Scarfone. Noah Brooks would be next. Bolander doesn't like the first one. Second pitch. And the 3-1 high for a ball. So Scarfone works a walk. Now 2 runners on here. And that's going to bring up the left fielder, Noah Brooks. As we're going to get a conference at the mound here.
No action in the Doubledays bullpen. This is purely a pep talk by the Doubledays head coach. What are you telling Bolander and the rest of the infield if you are the Doubledays head coach right now?
Hey, you've been on cruise control pretty much the entire game. Trust your defense, make your pitches, don't try to get too fancy. We're not warming anybody up right now. This is your ball game, and it's up to you to take it.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So conference at the mound is over as Noah Brooks steps in for the Skunks.
Now this is a completely different scenario. If there's a shot at the plate, do you send Henry Juwan?
Absolutely.
Juwan not with the most speed. He doesn't have the speed like Tommy Schroeder.
First pitch taken away for a ball. So it's you want to go into this at bat thinking, yes, you're going to go on contact. And if the ball gets down, you just want to keep your head down and barrel toward the plate. It really depends on where the ball is put into play, though. As the 1-0 pitch misses for a ball, 2-0. If it's a short little flare, like in the triangle in right field, we've already seen Schroeder score once. It's a question mark. Swinging, there's a ground ball through the left side, a base hit. Rounding third and holding is Juwan as the throw to the plate a little off line up the first base side, but a timely base hit for Brooks through the Tony Gwynn hole. And suddenly with 2 outs, the bases are loaded for Nigel Sebastianelli.
Good heads up third base coaching there by Ryan Hill. As you said, location is critical. Juwan wanted it as he was originally being told, go, 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 go. But as the throw was about to be made, Hill puts up his arms, says, you're not going to make it. You're going to be dead to rights. And Juwan having to put on the brakes super fast there. So good coaching there by Ryan Hill.
As Sebastianelli takes a strike, bases stinky full of Skunks.
The Tarp has been pulled over the field.
0-1 the count. The pitch. Taken high for a ball. 1-1. And suddenly there is activity in the Doubledays bullpen. Juwan off third. Scarfone off second. Brooks off first. Sebastianelli waiting the 1-1 pitch. Misses on the outside for a ball. 2-1. Bolander doesn't like the first sign. Gets the second. Runners take their lead. The 2-1 pitch. Missing inside for a ball. 3-1 now. And Bolander has worked himself into a bit of a jam here. Sebastianelli looking for anything close. And the pitch. Swinging a foul. Backing out of play. And it is a full count, 3-2.
The runners will be in motion. 3-2, 2 out. If a ball can get put in play, if they're attempting that steal, then Scarfone on second would already be like 2/3 of the way to third base and could score on a ball in the outfield.
3-2 pitch. Runners go. Swinging. There's a little flare into right field. Malseri under it and makes the catch to end the threat. But the Tarp Skunks do get on the board. 1 run on 2 hits. 3 runners left on base. We're going to go to the top of the 6th inning now. It's 3-1 Auburn.
Did you purchase 50-50? So the handsome man on the field has the details. Jake down the hill. Thank you, Jeremy. Now, I went out to our parking lot and I looked around to find the dirtiest car I could find. Now, there's some pretty clean cars out there, but I came back with a Navy Honda with a New York license plate which reads KBA 4120. That is a Navy Honda with a New York plate that says KBA 4120. Now, for the 50-50, it's a good night tonight. Win ticket wins $120. Ticket 239-7706. Ticket 239-7706. And this call is yours. If that ticket is yours, come on down to the home day. We'll hook you up with your prize. Very much up on you. Fire Energy Systems has been serving the area since 1957. They're a proud member of the Builders Association of Northwestern Pennsylvania, the Manufacturers Business Association, and the International Door Association. They offer a wide variety of products from a number of the major manufacturers within the industry. When it comes to doors, they are the experts.
So as the Tarp Skunks get ready for the top of the 6th inning, Griffin White remains on the mound. And the one thing that I'm hearing consistently is the birthday hawker. Robert Cross, the man that's hawking beer downstairs right now, taking beer around the stands. His birthday today, the owner of the concession stand, owner of 3C's Catering, give them a little shout out as he turns 49 today.
Oh, same age as me. That's a thing.
As Griffin White steps up to the plate, it's gonna be Soto Diaz, Mays, and Malseri to face Griffin White. Here in the top of the 6th, it's Dre Guinness.
All right, Maddie, as we are cruising through this one. White, first pitch was, I don't know how to describe that other than a please don't hit me fastball. Because Soto Diaz swung or held check swung while diving out of the way and got the foul ball. The 0-1 pitch. Taken outside for a ball, 1-1. It almost looked like he was up there trying to defend himself against some sort of, I don't know. It's hot. White comes set, the pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2 now to Soto Diaz. He had a single back in the 2nd inning, grounded out to Schroeder at 3rd back in the 4th. And now in a 1-2 hole. White comes set, the pitch, fouled back. And we'll do 1 and 2 all over again. Mays on deck. Mauceri batting third. And the 1-2. I thought that was going to be another one of our delayed strike 3 calls, but just off the outside corner for a ball. 2 and 2 now. Soto Diaz wiggling the bat. The 2-2 pitch popped up. First base side, and that's going to go out of play just behind the Doubledays bullpen. One bounce, and right into the hands of a lucky fan out there. Two. And the pitch. Swinging, there's a base hit up the middle into center field. And so Soto Diaz with a leadoff single. And that's going to bring up Skylar Mays. So Mays getting the instructions from the third base coach. Steps in Soto Diaz leading off of first base. Runner goes, pitch taken high, throw down to second. Just a little bit high and away, bouncing out of the glove of Matrenga covering. Would have been close. But the stolen base. And a 1-0 count to Mays. Struck out and walked. And the pitch. Misses for a ball. 2-0 now. Mauceri on deck. Soto Diaz leads off second. White comes set. Checks the runner. The pitch. Inside for a ball. 3-0.
I don't know where that missed, to be honest.
So White's working himself in the jam. Check Soto Diaz, the pitch. Square around a bunt, pulls the bat back and takes the walk, does Mays. So the first 2 runners get on base against Griffin White, and that is going to bring up Cole Mauceri. Left-handed hitter has struck out twice today.
No one working in the bullpen right now. I think they're going to try and ride with Griffin White just a little bit longer.
Well, again, only 1/3 of an inning so far in the season. You need to let him roll for a while and see what he's got. As the first pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1.
You actually had a chance to talk to Ryan Hill before the game today, and you asked him about what his philosophy was about when would be the ideal time to pull a pitcher off the mound and replace him with a new one. What did Ryan say about that?
Well, it's a combination of feel, and it's also a combination of trouble. Right now, I think this part of it is all about the feel, as Mauceri swings and misses for an 0-2 count. And what I mean by about the feel is, how is the person on the mound feeling? Is his arm good? Is he experiencing any tightness? Yesterday in the game against Niagara Falls, Benjamin Escobar was having a little tightness in his arm. Ryan Hill checked in with him, in between innings. He said, yeah, it's still a little tight, but I'll go out for the second inning. And it was quickly apparent that tightness was bothering him, so that's when he pulled the trigger. I think with Griffin White, he's going to let him ride for a while just to get him some reps on the mound and just to see, what he can do. As it's now 1-2 to Mauseri. Soto Diaz off second, Mays off first. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. And the pitch. Misses outside for a ball, 2-2.
A strikeout here would be huge. If he can get the strikeout, make this a 2 runners on, 1 out scenario, set up the inning-ending double play, it would be absolutely crucial, especially with how tight this game is right now. Only 1 run of insurance for the Doubledays at this point.
Runners take their lead. White comes set, checks the runner at second, kicks and throws, and the pitch, swing, and a miss, and a hat trick for Cole Mauseri, as that is his 3rd strikeout of the ball game, 1 away, and that is going to bring up Brandon Hoftiger. And Hoftiger coming in with a 115 batting average in this game. He's been a problem. Walked and scored a run, singled and scored a run. And now has an opportunity here. Runners at first and second, 1 away. White kicks and throws. Runners go on a hit and run and a foul. I think may have given a chair a concussion down there.
Luckily it was a chair and not a Homo sapien.
Or a squirrel. You got to watch out for those squirrels, man. Bad luck to hit a squirrel.
Is it?
To me, it is. I mean, we were talking superstitions the other day. And the pitch. Bounced in the dirt. 1-1 the count. I got attacked by a squirrel the other day at the mini golf place out in Lakewood. Was out there having a nice, beautiful afternoon with the family. We're sitting around the 8th hole, and I'm standing on the grass, and all of a sudden, something starts going after my shoelace. I look down. There's a squirrel came out of the woods, attacked me. As soon as I saw him, he ran away.
That's weird.
Yeah. And the pitch. Swing! And a miss. 1-2. Fun with wildlife. We'd like to welcome our friends in Auburn who are watching the game on YouTube. And all of the Tarp Skunks fans around the Jamestown and surrounding area tuned in here. White kicks and throws the 1-2, high and tight, 2-2.
Well, it's also not just the surrounding areas that have Tarp Skunks fans. We ended up talking with Tommy Schroeder's parents the other day. As we said, that he is from St. Charles, Illinois. So we got fans in Illinois, we got fans in Missouri, California.
Swing and a miss. As Hoftiger goes down swinging, second out of the inning, second strikeout for Griffin White, or 3rd strikeout, sorry. And that's going to go to the top of the order for Gavin Grapuso.
And Schroeder's parents told me that they try to watch every game if they can't make it here, which, if they're from Illinois, that's quite a ways.
That is. I drove to Chicago a couple of years ago to go to Wrigley Field for the first time. That was an 8-hour straight drive. First pitch, high for a ball, 1-0. 1 for 2 on the day is Grapuso. Walked, grounded to second, base hit in his last at bat. Has scored a run here. 1-0 the count. Infield playing back, outfield straight away. Sebastianelli watching Soto Diaz at second as that one's fouled off. 1-1 the count. You ever been to Wrigley?
I have not. I want to, though, just because of how historic it is. The only major league fields that I've ever been to are technically this one, Russell E. Diethrick Jr. Park, because there were major league affiliate teams here at one point, as well as PNC Park in Pittsburgh and Progressive Field in Cleveland.
1-1 pitch. And Soto Diaz dancing around, missing high, I guess, for a ball.
Sir! That pitch was extremely close. I mean, it looked good from here. I don't know about you, Dre.
It's just one of those things. The 2-1 pitch. Outside for a ball, 3-1 now. As Ford on deck. A base hit, a walk, and then 2 consecutive strikeouts. Now Grupuso working a 3-1 count with 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. And the pitch. Runners go. Throw down to third is not in time. And Tommy Schroeder kind of looking at the dugout saying, what do I have to do here?
I heard one of the interns in one of the other press boxes say, I got it on tape. He's one of the camera guys taking photos of certain action shots. He goes, yeah, I got it on tape. You use this as evidence. He's out.
Doesn't matter, though, because it was a walk. So all things considered, no harm, no foul. As Ford swings and misses at his first pitch, 0-1 the count. Ford has grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Base hit in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. Now bases loaded with 2 away here. White looking to shut this down. Runners take their lead, and the pitch. That's on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-2 the count now to Ford. Espinal on deck. As White 1 strike away from getting out of this. The 0-2 pitch. Inside for a ball. 1-2, and I think that crossed up Henry Juan. He was set on the outside, and that ball definitely inside. So 1-2 the count. Set to do it again. The pitch. Strike 3! Swung on, foul tipped into the glove of Henry Juan for the 3rd strike out of the inning and the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 3 runners left on base. And at the end of 5.5, it's still 3-1 Auburn.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Prevention Works and Casa Trinity. Prevention Works in Jamestown, New York provides substance use prevention and social, emotional, learning, and intervention services since 1974. Casa Trinity is dedicated to empowering those on their path to recovery. Hope begins here, and recovery is possible. Both Prevention Works and Casa Trinity are pairing up to educate communities on the dangers of fentanyl that's getting too close to home. 1 pill is enough to kill, especially if it contains fentanyl. It only takes 2 milligrams to take a life, which equates to the tip of a pencil. Be proactive and protect your loved ones by learning more. Visit dea.gov/1pill if you think someone you know is at risk, or call 716-664-3608.
Oh my goodness, get up there and look at that. We're in tight race. Come on now, boys. Ooh, nearly. Now we got the money right. Right with the shot. Ooh, he breaks it. All right, let's do one more shot. Come on now, make it count. Ooh, and we are done. Riley, you get one more shot. Let's see if you can make it.
So Bolander will remain on the mound for his 6th inning of work here against the Tarp Skunks. And he will be facing Bobby Stang. Wait, hang on a second here. It's going to be Austin Matranga, Leo Doyle, and then Bobby Stang. 2, 3, 4, the heart of the order for the Skunks coming up. And here to tell you all about the bottom of the 6th, as Matranga steps up to the dirt circle, it's Dre Guinness.
All right, Matty, as we go into the 6th inning, there is action in the bullpen for Auburn. So for Bolander, he had been cruising through the first 4 innings. Last inning was the first semblance of trouble. Austin Matranga now leading it off, squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes the ball 1-0. Matranga, Doyle, and Stang, the heart of the order. And the pitch. Bunted foul, 1-1. I'm almost, and you rarely see it anymore now that the designated hitter is in both league, but the old butcher boy play where you square around a bunt.
And then you pull back and swing away?
Yep. As the pitch swung on, ground ball down the third base line. That's a fair ball, rounding first and holding to a long single as Moseri quickly over to get it. Matranga leading off with a base hit. 4th hit of the game for the Tarp Skunks, and that is going to bring up Leo Doyle.
You know, the one thing I will say, going back to the butcher play that you talked about, I'm pretty sure the MLB outlawed that.
I honestly don't know. Well, again, it's been so long since I've actually seen it put into practice. As Doyle gets clipped on his first pitch of his at-bat, so now quickly 3 pitches into this inning, and the Tarp Skunks have runners at first and second with nobody out.
And yet, no matter what, that's still no walks on the season for Leo Doyle. Hit by pitch doesn't count as a walk.
I got to get it down there and talk to Leo about that at some point. As Stang steps in, takes the first pitch low for a ball, 1-0. And if you're Bolander and the Auburn Doubledays head coach, are you thinking about working the corners and trying to get fancy with Stang, or going right at him? As the pitch, chop foul at the plate, and it's 1-1.
Well, you know that Stang is a fastball power hitter. Mm-hmm. You've seen it time and time again, hitting it to the warning track in multiple locations here at Diethrick Park. So you're going to want to work in your off speed, but don't put it in a place that's an absolute meatball.
Outfield, center field shading to the right as a swing and a miss on a 1-1. Now 1-2 the count. Center fielder Soto Diaz playing to the right field side of the bag at second. Moseri playing straight away. Mays playing a little shallow and right. And the pitch just missed on the outside, 2-2. And I've kind of had to train myself. Especially with 2 strikes, this home plate umpire does do a delayed called third strike. So I just had to make sure. As the 2-2. Off the outside, 3-2 now to Bobby Stang.
And the head coach of the Doubledays not happy about it. Circling in place.
Now it goes both ways. It's affected both teams. As the 3-2 pitch fouled at the plate again. That looked like that went off of Stang's ankle. Limping around, grimaces a little bit, adjusting the batting gloves. Testing it out. That stings. You drive a ball right into your ankle. Makes for a long afternoon. Bolander comes set. Runners take their lead. The 3-2 pitch popped up. That should be an infield fly, and it is called. So staying automatically out. The catch made and no advance. That's going to bring up DJ Stoyanovich. First time we've actually seen the infield fly called here this season at Diethrick Park as DJ Stoyanovich steps in. Officially 0 for 1 on the day. Hit by a pitch back in the second inning. So Matrenga off second, Doyle off first. Stoyanovich also has power. And the pitch. Swinging, there's a ground ball through the hole between short and third. A base hit. Rounding third, heading to the plate, and scoring ahead of the throw is Matrenga, and it is now 3-2.
Perfect spot there by DJ Stoyanovich, and the speed of Austin Matrenga is something to behold, as that was a very risky call. Ryan Hill started making the go motion, that swing of the arm. The moment that Grapuso at short hit the ground, missing the ball, he was sure about it from the beginning. Ryan Hill, an aggressive base runner, or aggressive person with the base paths, and it's proven twice now.
As Aiden Wallace steps in, takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Action in the bullpen for Auburn has come to a complete stop. Wallace 1-0. 2 runners on. The pitch taken for a called strike at the knees, 1-1. Wallace 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Looking to get in the hit column here. Doyle off second. Stoyanovich off first. The pitch. Swinging, there is a line drive to second base. Ford gets it, steps on the bag for the unassisted double play, and the inning is over. But a run on 2 hits, 2 runners left on base. We go to the top of the 7th inning, 3-2 Auburn.
They have our wide variety of products from a number of the major manufacturers within the industry. Going to the store, they are the experts. The Tarpskunks would like to wish Robert Cross a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Rob!
Don't forget this Sunday, a doubleheader, but not only a doubleheader, but it's a free doubleheader. That means it is community buyout night, this time during the afternoon, Sunday, June 23rd, presented by GCFCU Community Federal Credit Union. Doubleheader against the Newark Pilots. Again, remember, there is rain in the forecast on Sunday, so you are going to want to keep your eye on the website, tarpskunks.com, and on the social media, the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram, Jamestown Tarp Skunks, and keep yourself updated. Hopefully the weather report changes before Sunday, and we'll be able to get both of them in.
And also, if it's a rainy day and you just don't want to get out of the house, but you still want to watch a Tarp Skunks baseball game, tell your friends about the Jamestown Tarp Skunks YouTube channel, where Dre and I will keep you up to date on all of the Tarp Skunks action as it happens live.
As we head to the top of the 7th inning, Griffin White's back on the mound for the Tarp Skunks. He'll be facing Espinal, Perez, and Christian. And here to tell you all about it, fresh out of the bullpen, it's Matty G.
Hey, I'm here. Okay, so Espinal up first. Already proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, yes, I brought out the court reference, that he deserves that 583 batting average. The question is, how will Griffin White respond to it with him in the leadoff position?
How will Espinal respond being in the leadoff
Bunt
position?
is shown. It's down the third base line, picked up by White, stays fair, and it is a bunt single for Fernando Espinal. Saw that Schroeder was playing back and took advantage of it, and it was cleaner than clean with the placement that he had on it.
That was an absolutely perfect textbook bunt. Perfect location, deadened the ball on the dirt, didn't put a funky spin on it, and it died on the grass.
So that brings up Juan Perez. Does have his first hit of the season on the day. First pitch inside for ball one. First hit of the season, first RBI of the season. Came back in the 5th inning.
1 for 3 on the day, 2 ground outs to third. And a RBI base hit in the 3rd inning.
And runner goes, swing and a miss by Perez. The throw by Juwan, just barely not in time.
And for Espinal, that's his 13th stolen base of the season. Speedster out there at second, getting him into scoring position.
The 1-1-2, Juan Perez in the dirt for ball 2. Good stop by Juwan to keep Espinal at second base.
Juwan has great lateral movement behind the plate.
And with a cannon with an arm to boot. So 2-1 count. Espinal off second. Gets checked by Griffin White. And the pitch. High and out. 3-1 now. There is action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen.
Action also picking back up in the Doubledays bullpen.
The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, high and outside again. So runners on first and second now with nobody out. So infield fly and double play are both put into effect here as Mike Christian steps up to the plate.
Christian 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout, ground out to short. He did walk back in the 5th. Tarp Skunks looking for a double play.
The corners are playing in, expecting a possible bunt here. Looking to see if that will hold true. As the first pitch to Christian, bunt is shown. He did go around. The runner goes. The throw in time. Sit down, meet. Another bullet throw by Henry Juwan, and there's one away.
Henry Juwan again with that quick pop rate and a cannon for an arm just got the speedster Espinal. I think he might have gotten him twice in the same inning, but this time it actually counts.
So Perez stayed at first. So now there's one away, runner on first, the 0-1 count. So the 0-1 pitch. Check swing over towards short. That could be 2. Step on his own for 1. Over to first for 2. In time. 6-3 double play. An unorthodox way to have a 1-2-3 inning. A throw out to third. And then an inning-ending double play. A 1-2-3 inning. As we go to the 7th inning stretch, the score remains 3-2.
New pitcher coming in for the Auburn Doubledays. Looks like it is Kenny Hirschfield, 5'8", 170-pound freshman, or make that sophomore out of the University of New Haven. Hails from New Hyde Park, New York. And he will replace Bolander, who had a stellar outing today. 6 innings pitched, 2 runs, 5 hits. Ran into trouble. And so to the bullpen, the Doubledays go. And, you know, I've been sitting here thinking in between innings, trying to figure out, you know, who my leader is for the my most valuable stinker. Even though you get the first pick, I've got a couple lined up in the chamber here ready to go.
Yeah, as do I. It's not certain where I'm going to go just yet, but I do have a couple of ideas. But the one thing I want to point out is it has been very clean baseball today. Looking at the stats, 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Doubledays. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Tarp Skunks. Both teams playing clean defense, clean baseball. And, you know, that just makes it enjoyable to see because there are no errors as of yet. I can't jinx anything right now. Maybe knock on some wood. My head might be wood because it's hollow. But, you know, you never know what's going to happen, but the clean baseball makes it that much more enjoyable.
Well, too, I mean, it also shows that, you know, within this last week, we have definitely seen the defense tighten up. You know, they're playing looser, but tighter at the same time, if that makes any sense at all. And what I mean by that is they're a lot more relaxed out there. They're letting the play come to them rather than trying to force it, and that has made a performance like tonight possible, clean all the way through. As Tommy Schroeder stepping into the plate, here's Matty G.
Thank you, Dre Guinness. It's going to be Schroeder, Juwan, and Scarfone in that order. 7, 8, 9. First pitch to Schroeder, fouled over the press box. Luckily on the opposite side of us.
Are you getting scared now?
Oh, God, no. The 0-1. Swing down the third base line, foul. So 2 pitches, 2 swings, 2 fouls, 0-2 now to Tommy Schroeder.
I was watching Schroeder in the batting cage before the game, and he was wrapping line drives left and right.
The 0-2. Called strike 3, and Schroeder knew it and is frustrated with himself. Knew that was going to be strike 3. But unfortunately, the pitch selection jelly-legged him, and there's 1 away.
He bit his bat on the way back to the dugout.
And that just goes to show you that he did know, as that brings up Henry Juwan.
1 for 2 on the day.
His first pitch, low and away for ball 1. As that pitch misses off the plate, low, 2-0 now.
Hirschfield listed as a catcher on the Doubledays roster.
The catcher pitchers are the weirdest dual players. As the 2-0 pitch, called strike 1, curveball on the outside corner.
You would think that a catcher pitcher would have the best command of the strike zone, just because he sees it from both sides of the plate.
The 2-1. Curveball high, 3-1. So 3-1 to Juwan. The southpaw wheels and deals. High and outside, ball 4. So Juwan is aboard. And that brings up Steven Scarfone.
Second time on base for Juwan today. Scarfone has gotten the strikeout and the walk out of his system. Looking to put the bat on the ball here as down a run and threatening here in the bottom of the 7th.
As that first pitch gives him a little sweet chin music, high and inside, 1-0.
Oh, and the Pew crew has started.
Ball 6 has begun. As that one is a curveball over the heart of the plate for strike 1. You know, they were chanting ball 6, but I think they might have forgotten that there was a strike in Juwan's at bat.
They're having fun.
The 1-1 fouled near us and over the press box, didn't hit the gate.
No, it went through the window and out the door.
There's no way.
Yeah, it did not bounce back. There was no bang. That ball on a line went through the visiting press box and out the back door.
The 1-2 popped up high into shallow left field. Calling it is Grapuso. He comes under it for the catch. And there are 2 away now. And that'll bring up Noah Brooks. So Noah Brooks looking to keep this inning alive with 2 away. Juwan off first, doing a little dance. The first pitch to Brooks, high for ball 1.
Brooks has grounded out to third and singled back in the 5th inning.
The 1-0 fouled behind him to the backstop. 1-1 now. So 1-1, 2 out. Juwan off of first. The pitch outside, curveball missing the plate. 2-1 for Brooks.
Heard the umpire call that one high. No action in either bullpen.
The Hirschfield 2-1 pitch hit off the ground and then off his back ankle.
And that's going to draw some consternation from the Doubledays dugout as the manager coming out to say, what you doing?
So I can understand why. Because a ball that bounces off the ground usually doesn't react like that. But it ricocheted off of his toe, off of his cleat. And that brings Noah Brooks to first base and Juwan to second.
So Nigel Sebastianelli with an opportunity.
The first pitch to Sebastianelli, blooper foul. Almost caught barehanded by a lucky fan, but he stone-handed it off of the palm.
Get that man a glove.
The 0-1. Rip foul, this time caught actually by someone with a glove.
There you go. That is why you bring your baseball glove to the ballpark. Not only is it going to potentially save your life, but you can make a great play and everyone cheers for you.
And that's precisely what happened, but the count is now quickly 0-2 to Nigel Sebastianelli, trying to keep this inning alive, keep his at-bat alive. The 0-2 from Whitfield, chopper over towards first, fielded by Perez. He will take it himself. Sebastianelli slides into first, not in time, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, 2 runners left on base. We go to the top of the 8th inning. The score remains close, 3-2 Doubledays.
Thank you, Jeremy. I am down here with the young man who's ready to play the putt putt. Now, he has 5 chances. He has 5 putts. He has these 5 golf balls into that box. For everyone that he makes, he will win a Timbit. And for everyone that he misses, we will get the Timbit in front of him. Are you ready? He's ready. All right.
Support for our coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you by Plyler Entry System, the Davies Investment Group, and Prevention Works in Casa Trinity. We'd like to thank our sponsors for helping make this and every live stream of the 2024 season possible. We also encourage all businesses and organizations serving residents in Jamestown and Chautauqua County to consider becoming a Tarp Skunks live stream sponsor for this season and future seasons by calling us at 716-705-5600, emailing us at contactus@tarpskunks.net, or using the contact form on our website, tarpskunks.com. All sponsors are recognized during each home game during our live stream broadcast and by our public address announcer. Thank you to our current sponsors and anyone else considering becoming a future sponsor of Jamestown Baseball. So Shaniel Maldonado taking over here in the 8th inning. Coach Ryan Hill turning it over. And he will be facing Grove, Soto Diaz, and Mays, the 6, 7, 8 hitters. And here to tell you all about the top of the 8th inning, it's Waldo. It's Matty G.
Where's Waldo?
Well, I thought you were for a second.
Last I checked, I'm not wearing red and white stripes.
Yeah, I was looking at the red and white striped tent out there, and just had the
thought of Waldo.
I got confused for a minute. We'll call it. I had an old man moment.
So, Griffin White's day comes to a close.
And a pretty good day it was. Came in 2 1/3 innings, got himself 4 strikeouts, and only allowed 1 hit. So Maldonado now takes over.
6'2", 210, an incoming freshman to Mercer Community College, calls Newark, New Jersey home.
Comes into this game, 2 appearances, 8 innings pitched, 1-0 record, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 11 walks against 9 strikeouts, and a 2.25 ERA. We'll make it 4 walks against 9 strikeouts.
And his first pitch to Dalton Groves. Just off the outside corner for ball 1. The 1-0. Curveball missing high, ball 2.
Maldonado on the week picked up his first victory in a 4-inning appearance, 3 strikeouts, 0 ERA this week. Looking to keep that rolling here.
Dalton Groves ready to go. The 2-0 from Maldonado. Foul back. 2-1. The wheel and fire. Curveball called strike 2 at the knees. And the shake of the head by Dalton Groves saying, I don't know if that was a strike or not.
Of course, when you take a strike, you're not going to think it's a strike.
The 2-2. Another curveball slipping out of his glove, slipping out of his hand, tapping his chest, saying, that's my bad, is Maldonado. And the count is full. So the payoff pitch to Dalton Groves. Hit high into foul territory. And there's a souvenir for a lucky fan as it collides with the metal bleachers. So we will do 3-2 over again. Groves ready to go. Maldonado has his pitch. The wind-up and fire. The 3-2 curveball hits Dalton Groves square in the back. That is his second hit by pitch of the day, if I remember correctly.
Absolutely. Hit by a pitch back in the 4th inning. In between that, he sandwiched a strikeout and a base hit. So 3rd time on base for Grove. And Maldonado looks like he's having some trouble with that curveball early on, trying to get that feel.
So that brings up Bradley Soto Diaz. coming into this game, batting .333. Bunt is shown. He pulls back as the pitch is low. 1-0 now.
Soto Diaz on the day, 2 for 3. 2 singles and a ground out.
Bunt is shown again, this time down the first base line. Foul by Soto Diaz. And the count's 1-1.
Tarp Skunks have the wheel play on where Stang is crashing at first base. Austin Matrenga wheeling over to cover the first base bag. If it is bunted hard enough, they could have a shot at second base. At least try to get the lead runner.
Maldonado comes set, checks the runner. The 1-1. Runner goes, fouled back and off the press box. Hit and run was put in play, but because it was fouled back, Groves goes back to the bag. 1-2 now.
I think that was a good call, too, by the Doubledays. You know, square around a bunt, you bunt foul, and then everyone's thinking you're going to bunt again, send the runner on a hit and run.
The 1-2. Ground ball over to the Tony Gwynn hole, past a diving Sebastianelli, and it goes into left field for a base hit. So the first two runners, or the first two batters for the Doubledays aboard here in the top of the 8th inning, and nobody out right now as Skylar Mays comes up to the plate.
Officially 0 for 1 on the day, has walked twice, struck out back in the second inning.
So the first pitch to Skylar Mays. Bunt is shown. Pulled back in time for, I guess, an outside ball?
Yeah, that one definitely missed the outside. There was definitely dirt between the plate and the ball.
So now both of the corners are on the grass. We'll see who decides to crash. The bunt is shown. Stang crashes. The ball's popped up behind Juwan, but he's unable to find it as the umpire kind of got in his way as he turned around. So it's unfortunately just a foul ball. Stang with a good attempt on it, charging in from first base. Long way to run for him.
E11. Now Maldonado's bringing that heat too, because even just on a bunt, that almost got to the press box.
So 1-1, nobody out. Runners on first and second. Bunt is shown again. This time pulls back on the curveball. Inside, 2-1. So it looks like Stang is going to be the one that's going to be crashing from first base. It looks like Schroeder's going to remain at home. As the pitch, never mind, they both crash. This one fouled back to the backstop. 2-2 now, and this play goes back to our normal scheduled programming.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, they're going to go, both Stang and Schroeder are going to back up to just off the infield grass, still playing a little shallow. But with 2 strikes, not expecting a bunt.
The 2-2, curveball high, 3-2 now.
If I'm Juwan, I am calling for a fastball. Challenge fastball.
Maldonado comes set. The payoff pitch. That was precisely what it was as it's fouled back to the Doubledays on deck circle.
Go back to it. Maldonado's had some struggles with that curveball here in the early parts of the 8th inning.
Groves leads off second. Soto Diaz leads off first. Maldonado has his pitch, comes set. The pitch to Skylar Mays, fouled off again. This time over to the Surfeit Club and narrowly missing a couple of kids that were playing catch out there. It ricocheted off of one of the picnic benches. Luckily they are okay, but close call out there. And we will do 3-2 one more time. Maldonado ready to go. The pitch. Check swing foul down the first base line.
Right about now, Skylar Mays is singing that 70s disco hit Staying Alive in his head, because that is exactly what he has done. Ever since 2 strikes have come on the count, he has stayed alive.
My family's not a fan of the Bee Gees. They think the falsetto is annoying. The 3-2. Called strike 3. What a pitch location by Shaniel Maldonado, and that strikeout was crucial, especially with the runners on base right now.
Absolutely. Maldonado reaching back for something extra on that fastball, getting Mays looking, and are we going to have... So we're going to have a pinch hitter coming in for Cole Mauseri.
As his first pitch from Shaniel Maldonado, outside for ball 1.
And it is Ryan Grundy, the pinch hitter. So Cole Mauseri, I was actually, I'm one of those guys, so I'll get to that in just a second.
The 1-0. Hit high into right field. Coming underneath it is Stojanovic. He makes the grab for the second out. Halting Groves at second. There are 2 away. You were saying, Mr. Guinness?
I was saying, I'm the guy that every NFL season I always root for a team to go 0-16, now 0-17. I like a good train wreck, and part of it, I actually was hoping to get the golden sombrero.
The first pitch to Hoftiger. Curveball broke his ankles. He wasn't going to even try to swing at that over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Broke his ankles is a basketball term. I don't know where that came from. I was trying to say he jelly-legged him.
I've said broken legs, broken knees, broken ankles work.
The 0-1, curveball again. Same pitch, same location, called strike 2. So 0-2, 2 out. Groves off first. Soto Diaz off of second. The pitch from Maldonado. Curveball high this time. Couldn't get the same movement on it. 1-2.
Not a bad idea. At least he didn't hang it over the plate. That would have been trouble. If you're going to miss, that's when you want to miss. And hopefully you get him to chase. Hoftiger did not.
The 1-2 pitch to Hoftiger. Foul back to the backstop.
And that was a home run rip right there. Let everything fly, and Maldonado's providing plenty of power.
So we will do 1-2, 2 out all over again. The delivery. Curveball fouled over the right field bleachers.
And a woodchuck narrowly avoids getting hit. I'm going to try to see how many woodland creatures I can name throughout the season.
Well, you've already got quite a few. As the 1-2. Swing and a miss! 3 straight strikeouts for Shaniel Maldonado as the first 2 runners are aboard and left stranded. No runs, 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's still 3-2 Doubledays.
Thank you, Jerry. I am down here with Easton is going to be playing on Mystery Box game. Now, Easton, you can choose between these 2 Tarp Skunks, any game you like, or you can choose in that Mystery Box. Now, it could be a long variety of things. We've had jerseys, we've had gloves, we've had blue, we've had sand, dirt. Could be $1 million in there. It's not. There could be. But three bucks. Don't bring it though. Are you sure you know what the next is about? He said yes. Open it up, Max. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Oh my goodness. It's a 2024 Tarp Skunks baseball signed by the entire team. Look at that. Congratulations. That's right up to you.
12 total strikeouts for the Tarp Skunks pitching staff tonight. It has been a exceptionally close and exceptionally well-pitched ball game by both sides. We are going into the bottom of the 8th inning now as Hirschfield beginning his second inning of work. He will face Matrenga Doyle and Bobby Stang in the 8th inning. And here to tell you all about it, it's Matty G.
Thank you, Dre. You mentioned the 12 strikeouts. That's an average of 4 strikeouts per pitcher that we have seen today. Shaniel Maldonado with 3. Brady Wright, the starting pitcher, with 6. And Griffin White with 3 of his own. So the pitching staff, except for a couple of hiccups in the 3rd and the 5th, been wheeling and dealing so far today. The first pitch to Austin Matrenga, curveball over the heart of the plate for strike 1. And that is something you see a lot with lefty against lefty action. A curveball first pitch, trying to get an easy pull ahead. The 0-1 in the dirt for ball 1.
That one had some serious heat on it. Changing speed and location.
The 1-1. Curveball fouled back underneath us. 1-2 now.
Matrenga has had a single and scored. Struck out and grounded out.
The 1-2. Inside, 2-2.
Good patience, good eye by Matrenga on that one. Standing center of the box, giving up the outside corner.
The 2-2. Fouled back again. And Matrenga not wanting to go down without a fight.
And that pitch right on the outside corner, and he has the ability to protect it, so. That takes away both left and right planes. You have to go top and bottom now.
The second 2-2. Fouled back again.
Matrenga's got that pitch timed up.
He's just missing it by a little bit. As we will do 2-2 again. The delivery from Hirschfield. Swing and a miss. And Hirschfield comes out on top by the battle from Matrenga. And there's one away here in the bottom of the 8th.
Second strikeout for Hirschfield, 6th overall for the Doubledays. And the big man coming up next.
Leo Doyle coming into this game hitting .318 on the season. His first pitch for this AB from Hirschfield. Called strike 1 on the outside corner.
A nice location right on the black. 0 for 2 on the day, was hit by a pitch back in the 6th.
The 0-1. High and out, 1-1.
And I like at this point in the game, you're seeing the Tarp Skunks batter go deeper into the counts.
The 1-1 delivery from Hirschfield. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Took something off of that one. Doyle was looking for that fastball at the knees.
And unfortunately, it was a curveball at the knees that he chased into the dirt. So 1-2. The pitch. High and out again. 2-2.
Second batter in a row that Hirschfield has gone 2-2 to.
2-2. The 2-2. High and out. Full count now. Voices making themselves known. The payoff pitch inside, ball 4. And that is the first walk of the season for Leo Doyle. He finally got on base on 4 balls. But you know what, though? You got to respect him for that. Hitting the ball, wanting to put the bat on the ball constantly to the point where you never draw a walk is, in my opinion, commendable.
Absolutely, and you heard me clapping a little bit there for Leo. That was actually genuine.
First pitch to Bobby Stang on the inside corner, called strike 1. Stang wasn't a fan of it.
I know someone out there is probably going to think that was sarcastic. No, that was a genuine appreciation for Doyle getting this far and getting his first walk.
As that pitch is high and inside for ball 1.
Stang has had a single, struck out and popped out into an infield fly.
Doyle off first, getting looks from Hirschfield. The pitch, curveball, called strike 2. And Stang was not looking for a curveball at all. He held up. So very quickly, 1-2. The delivery. Ball just a little outside. Stang nodding his head, happy at the call.
He's got to protect the plate here, 2-2. Hirschfield does have a waste pitch. I don't think he's the type of pitcher, though, that's going to do that.
The pitch, swing and a miss, foul tip into the glove of Groves. He put so much into that he lost his balance on that swing. And there are 2 away. The one thing I got to point out about Stang, he doesn't really have a different 2-strike approach. His 2-strike approach is the same as his 1-strike approach, is the same as his no-strike approach. No matter what, he's swinging for power, and to be honest, that's not something that that's not really something I agree with. 2 strikes, you're wanting to put something in play. First pitch to Stoyanovich, inside and low for ball 1.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit on there. Bobby Stang's role is as a power hitter in that lineup. That's why he's in that 4th spot. And just kind of with the conversation that I had with Coach Hill today, it almost feels like kind of the same treatment with Nigel Sebastianelli.
As that pitch is high for ball 2.
Where Ryan Hill trusts Bobby Stang and his game and is just going to let him play his own game. As now
Grapuso is going to have a conference with Hirschfield.
He sees something.
Stoyanovich ready to go. Hirschfield comes set, checks Doyle at first. The 2-0. Curveball on the outside corner for strike 1.
And Stoyanovich today 1 for 2 officially. Singled back in the 6th, flew out to left in the 5th, and was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Looking for a little bit of that Skunks 2-out magic.
The 2-1. Low and inside. Back foot curveball didn't give chase. 3-1 now. Action in the Doubledays bullpen. So we'll see how long they leave Hirschfield out there. The pitch, runner goes. Called strike 2. The throwdown not in time. And it's a stolen base for Leo Doyle, and he waves to the pitcher saying, yeah, I just did that, even though you're a lefty. What about it? Hi, how are you?
That was not only a great jump, but the fact that Hirschfield hadn't been holding him on, even really glancing over him over to first as he's come to the set. And a gutsy call by Ryan Hill with 2 outs.
So 3-2, 2 out, Doyle off second. The payoff pitch to Stoyanovich, fouled back and into the bleachers, narrowly missing a couple of fans.
Now, those fans already have a ball. So kid runs out and picks it up, gets himself a souvenir. And that last pitch, it looked like a protection swing, but I think Stojanovic may have swung a ball 4. But again, he's still alive and kicking here, so no complaints.
So we'll do this pitch over again. 3-2, 2 out.
Watch the curveball.
The payoff. Chop foul over towards the Tarp Skunks bullpen.
Stojanovic knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Everybody in the stadium, I think, knew that was coming on the first 3-2. Now, whether Hirschfield changes his approach and goes fastball, or does he go back to the curveball? Stojanovic has shown he can make contact to both.
The next 3-2. Ball 4. Little out, little up.
So now Skunks with 2 outs have something cooking here. Stojanovic at first, Doyle over at second, and Aiden Wallace coming in, and we're going to get a manager's meeting to the mound. Action is continuing in the bullpen. Haven't seen any motion yet. Checking in, how do you feel? 2 outs, this is your inning. And a pound to the chest. The usual go get 'em, attaboy speech by the pitching coach for the Doubledays.
I have a hunch that the Doubledays manager looked at Hirschfield and said, listen, make this batter count. It is your last one. If this runner gets on base, we will switch you out.
I definitely think there was an element of that in there as well.
The first pitch to Wallace, low and in, curveball, back foot, did not chase. The 1-0. Low for ball 2.
Hitters count now for Wallace.
Wants to try and make it count. There is a massive gap in left center right now as Grundy is shading towards the line a little bit.
Soto Diaz playing the right field side of the bag.
The 2-0 pitch is outside for ball 3.
And Tommy Schroeder is on deck.
The Tarp Skunks fans, the Pew crew on the left field side making their voices known. The 3-0 from Hirschfield. Called strike 1, and Aiden Wallace thought it was ball 4, doing the same freeze that he had his last at-bat when he struck out looking. Again, thinking that should have been ball 4.
Yeah, this time the umpire a little quicker on that call, though, so.
The 3-1. Foul ball off of the body of Groves. The umpire going to give Groves a second to recover, as that hit him where there was no padding. So the count is now full. Doyle off second. Stojanovic off first. The runners will be in motion for this pitch. Aiden Wallace ready to go. Hirschfield gets his pitch. The 3-2 payoff. Runners go. Foul back. And it gets stuck in the netting on the edge of the mezzanine.
That's a 1 in a million shot right there.
Hopefully no one sees where that is because...
Oh, nope.
No! The public address announcer, Jeremy Becker, going over to get that ball like a little rat boy. The 3-2 payoff, swing and a miss. And Hirschfield screaming, sit down, to the Tarp Skunks dugout. Screaming, sit down to the fans as well. that is going to leave a bad taste in your mouth if you're a Tarp Skunks fan. No runs, no hits. I forgot Doyle walked for the first time. No runs, no hits, 2 runners left on base. We go to the final inning of gameplay. The 9th inning, still 3-2. It has been a very close game throughout the entirety of this matchup. As we go to the top of the 9th, quick recap, 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Doubledays, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Tarp Skunks. As we head to the top of the 9th, both teams only have 3 outs remaining, and it's the top of the order for the Auburn Doubledays. Grapuso, Ford, and Espinal to face Shaniel Maldonado for his 2nd inning of work. As there is action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen, they will be ready to have a short leash on Maldonado, but here to take you the rest of the way, it's Dre Guinness.
All right, Maddie, thank you very much. As we head to the top of the 9th inning, Shaniel Maldonado starting his 2nd inning of work. Grapuso, Ford, and Espinal, the 1-2-3 hitters, due up for the Doubledays. Grapuso 1 for 2 on the day. 2 walks. First pitch, inside for a ball, 1-0. Grapuso also with his 17th stolen base of the season. So he has been all around a thorn in the side of the Skunks as that one fouled back and just missed the visiting media window. I'm still amazed at that one that went through the window and out the door.
It
on the
sucks.
fly.
I want a ball.
And the 1-1. Outside for a ball, 2-1. I asked for this one.
Yeah, well, I want a foul ball, not an asked-for ball.
You know what? I have no shame in asking for a baseball. We need
And
one up
looking
here.
at the replay, that ball, that foul ball that narrowly missed us,
As there's a fly ball out to left field, underneath it is Brooks and puts it away for the first out of the inning.
that foul ball by Grapuso actually hit our camera. You guys saw the camera shake, and it hit the protective casing that our camera was sitting in.
You break it, you buy it.
Luckily, that protective casing is in plexiglass.
Yeah, I mean, plexiglass will shatter, but you got to get it dead on accurate. As the first pitch to Ford, a curveball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. For Ford, 1 for 3. He has singled, struck out twice, and grounded into a double play. Maldonado misses outside and high for a ball. 1-1. Espinal on deck. Maldonado didn't like something, stepped off for a second. Now gets the sign and the pitch. Missing low for a ball, 2-1.
Not a bad idea there by Shaniel Maldonado. 1-1 pitch, kind of a hitter's count. The hitter kind of gets settling in on that third pitch. Curveball in the dirt, tried to get him to chase. Nothing happening on it, though.
And the 2-1. Outside for a ball, 3-1. So Maldonado needs to buckle down here. The 3-1. Fouled off, and the count goes full, 3-2.
The umpire again going to give Juwan a little bit of time to recover, but Juwan didn't really look like he needed it.
It's courtesy shown by the umpire when he gets along with the catchers, and he's shown that to both sides tonight. So, not a lot of chirping behind the plate, apparently. As Maldonado, the 3-2. Swung on. There is a line drive caught.
Oh,
and shot by Nigel Sebastianelli, and there are 2 away.
That is a Superman dive if I have ever seen one. Sebastianelli's body was parallel to the ground. What a grab by Nigel Sebastianelli. That reach is crucial.
Absolutely, giving Maldonado a little confidence on the mound as well, facing Espinal, the Doubleday's best hitter. And the first pitch taken for a called strike, curveball on the inside corner. It'll be Schroeder, Juwan, and Scarfone in the bottom of the 9th inning. Maldonado trying to keep it a 1-run game as the 0-1 pitch bouncing in the dirt. 1-1. For Espinal, he's walked, struck out, hit an RBI double, a single back in the 7th, and was caught stealing at 3rd. And the pitch. Fouled off. And quickly, Espinal finds himself behind 1-2 now. Or 2-1. No, it should be 1-2 because a foul and a strike call on that curveball. Scoreboard, I think, has it backwards. I'm sticking with 1-2. And the pitch. Fouled. Ooh, that was a liner that another 1 in a million shot hit the cord going from the lighting tower to, it looks like, I don't know, some sort of electrical relay box or whatnot. But that's a 1 in a million. And the pitch. Missing low. 2-2. I was right. So 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Fly ball into right. Going back on it is Stojanovic. He camps under it and puts it away for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It's crunch time. 3-2 Auburn.
And if you don't mind, Dre, I'm going to keep it here.
Absolutely.
To have a look, the Doubledays are going to bring in a new closing pitcher. Once we get that information, once we see his number.
25. I think it's 25.
It is going to be James Sill. James Sill, the 6'3", 225 freshman from SUNY Old Westbury, hailing from Levittown, New York, trying to shut down Schroeder, Juwan, and Scarfone, 7, 8, 9 hitters going into the bottom of the 9th inning. And You know, this has been a fun game to call. The Skunks might be down a run right now, but overall, this game has been fun to call for me because of how tight it is, how competitive it is, how fun the players are having with each other, no less. This is just a great game of baseball right here.
This is a ball player's delight. You know, I've always liked playing in close games. I've always liked calling close games. I don't like blowouts just because, you know, at a certain point, it's just like you want the game to get over with. This, you know, I wouldn't mind a 31-inning, extra-inning ball game, but I know that ain't going to happen.
Even if the blowout was on your team's winning side?
I mean, that's nice because we saw that, you know, with Salamanca, where we mercied them 15-4. I enjoyed that, but I mean, this is the kind of game that when I go to the ballpark, this is what I want to see. Good pitching matchup. Tight all the way down to the wire, and that's my jam. As for Sill, he comes in, his 7th appearance, no record, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, 2 saves, and a 1.50 ERA. So he is going to be the guy.
It seems like with those stats, he has consistently been the closer for the Auburn Doubledays. The Tarp Skunks trying to see if they can figure out a closer on short notice. As the first man up is Tommy Schroeder, and here to tell you all about it, it's Drake Ennis.
All right, thank you very much, Matty. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Tarp Skunks. Tommy Schroeder, Henry Juan, and Steven Scarfone. And the first pitch, way outside for a ball, 1-0. For Schroeder, 0 for 2, hit by a pitch. As the next pitch misses low for a ball, 2-2. Or 2-0. 2-0 pitch misses for a ball, 3-0, and Schroeder in a hitter's count.
He's been given the green light by Ryan Hill. There was no signals given.
And takes a 4-pitch leadoff walk to start the bottom of the 9th inning. Only the 3rd walk allowed for Sill. And quickly grows out there to have a conversation with his closer as Henry Juan comes up.
Now, I'm noticing a change in Henry Juan right now. The past 2 at-bats he's had, he has flung the bat. It has slipped out of his hand and it has flown a long way. He's not wearing batting gloves anymore, which will give him a little bit more grip.
And a little bit more sting, too, when he makes contact. I was always a one batting glove hitter. I always like to have it on my bottom hand, not my top, as the throw over to first. Schroeder not buying the hidden ball trick. He doesn't even touch the bag, you know, and bag back up. He just pops up and takes his lead. And the 1-0. Inside for a ball, 2-0. And the Pew crew should be chanting ball 7 at this point. As Schroeder takes his lead, the pitch. Way outside, and it gets past Groves. Schroeder will head to second. Turn the corner, and he is a third of the way off the bag, almost challenging Groves to make the throw. Groves is going to walk it back to the mound. And now 3-0, 7 straight balls thrown by Sill with no outs. And I think I'd put on the red light here with as wild as Sill has been. And there it is, ball 4. Ball pops out of the glove. Schroeder takes off and gets himself to third. So 2 wild pitches in the inning.
What heads-up base running by Tommy Schroeder. Seeing the ball pops out of his glove, and Groves was kind of nonchalant in going to get that ball, and Schroeder taking full advantage and being like, yeah, this is too easy. I'm going to be the tying run, and I'm already 90 feet away, and there's nobody out right now. A ball in the outfield, and this is a tie ball game, as the manager of the Doubledays needs to calm his team down really fast, especially his pitcher, Sill, who has thrown 8 straight balls, has had yet to have one to find the strike zone.
And it's not just a fly ball to the outfield that'll score a run, anywhere other than third or first. So between the 4.4 hole and the 5.5 hole and the 3.5 hole. To give you an idea, halfway between first and second, halfway between second and third, anywhere in that cone on the infield, unless it goes right back to Sill, is going to tie the ball game. That was a lot of explanation, and I probably did it wrong, but who cares, because Steven Scarfone is coming up to the plate with a chance to tie it and nobody out.
Tying run 90 feet away, winning run 270 feet away.
As the first pitch misses for ball 9. I feel like Harry Doyle in Major League. Ball 4, ball 8, and that's ball 12, and he walked the bases. We haven't gotten there yet. And finally, Sill finds the strike zone, 1-1 the count. And as a hitter, when a pitcher has been this wild, you're almost reluctant to pull the trigger. Is that next pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 1-2 the count.
And that outside pitch has been Scarfone's weakness all season. Most of the strikeouts that Scarfone has had has been looking on that outside corner. If it were Sill, I'd be going back right back to that spot.
And the 1-2 pitch, called strike 3, right in the exact same spot. And Scarfone is the first out of the inning. As Noah Brooks comes to the plate, 1 for 2 on the day, was hit by a pitch back in the 7th, singled. And the first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0.
For a second there, I thought that had clipped him in the elbow.
And if you notice, on right-handers, it doesn't look like Sill's getting that pitch. The next pitch high and tight for a ball, 2-0. Nigel Sebastianelli would be next. 2-0 the count. Runners at first and third. The pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1 the count. Also, when a pitcher has been this wild, a hit and run is probably the last thing you'd want to call. The next pitch in the dirt for a ball, 3-1.
However, if I were Noah Brooks, I'd be looking to get the bat on the ball on this pitch. Like, bases loaded, 1 out, sets up an inning-ending double play, a game-ending double play.
As the 3-1 pitch outside, ball 4, and Sill has walked the bases loaded now. As Juwan at second, Schroeder at third, Brooks at first, and Nigel Sebastianelli coming to the plate. Bases loaded, 1 away here for the left-hander.
And like I said before, you know, this is a good situation. The winning run is 180 feet away for the top of the order, but a game-ending double play is set up here.
As the first pitch is a ground ball too short. That could be 2. Throw to second for 1 on the first. Not in time! And the ball game is tied as Schroeder scores on the fielder's choice. We are tied at 3.
And this was not on the double play at all. This was on Perez. Perez, when he tried to make the catch, The ball was a little too short. It popped in and out of his glove. If he had maintained control of that ball, it would have ended the game.
I don't necessarily know because Sebastianelli had that one beat as the pitch takes a bad hop. Scoring is Juwan, and the Tarp Skunks score 2 in the 9th to beat Auburn 4-3. Walk it off, Austin Matranga.
Congratulations, Austin Matranga, getting your walk-off of the night. But let me tell you something. We didn't bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up now. This is the first walk-off game that Mr. Dre Guinness has ever called, and what a game it was.
Oh my goodness, we talked about it. It was a close game all the way through. These Tarp Skunks have absolutely no quit in them whatsoever. Schroeder being an absolute pest on the base paths. Juwan being patient at the plate. 3 walks in the inning, and Matranga hit that ball so sharply it hit off of something in the infield and bounced off the bare hand of Ford, and once that hit his hand, it flew away. This one was over, and what a thrilling win to come back, especially after last night, the loss at Niagara Falls. Tonight, coming back on the home turf, and wow, unbelievable finish, unbelievable ball game.
This was a ton of fun to call, and you know what, though? That leaves a ton Henry Juwan at catcher played a magnificent ball game, called a magnificent ball game, because if I remember correctly, Juwan is the one that's calling pitches to the pitchers, not Ryan Hill. He's letting Juwan and the catchers do their own work. He called an immaculate game. He played an immaculate game. The throw out to second, the throw out to third, having some unorthodox plays, but he was able to make them count. Henry Juwan is my most valuable sinker of the night.
I think Austin Matranga automatically gets most valuable stinker of the night because of the walk-off, so he is an automatic pick for both of us. I'll give him that on both of our behalfs. I'm going to give it to the pitching staff tonight. They pitched an absolutely beautiful ball game. 3 runs, 10 hits. They kept the Tarp Skunks in it the entire way. And again, a thrilling 4-3 win for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Auburn drops to 9-6. The Skunks back to 7-8, I believe. I don't have my standings here. Give me a second to grab those. 7-8 now for the Tarp Skunks. Auburn 9-6-1, pending the results of Geneva and Batavia that is taking place tonight. Unbelievable ball game.
Absolutely, but don't forget that the Tarp Skunks are going to be back home in 2 days as they come here for a buyout night on the 23rd, a doubleheader buyout night, 2 straight games of great Tarp Skunks baseball as we play host to the Newark Pilots at GCFCU, Greater Chautauqua Federal Credit Union Community Buyout Night, free doubleheader of baseball. On the 25th, we host the Geneva Red Wings for $2 night, $2 tickets, $2 beer, $2 hot dogs. Doesn't get any better than that. On Thursday the 27th, another buyout night. So if you come to the next 3 games, the next 3 home games, you would only have to pay $2 for 4 games of baseball.
That is an insane value, insane deal, and you'll only find it here at Russell E. Diethrick Park. I want to thank our producers tonight. Also, I want to thank Matty G for his excellence behind the mic as well. For everybody here at the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, once again, final score, Tarp Skunks 4, Doubledays 3. I'm Dre Guinness saying